Murray, Cody Shute, Jack Garish and Alex McCarthy. On the Wodonga Bulldogs side of things, we've got Josh Mathy, Angus Baker, Matt Wilson and Adam Jorgensen. We did have Jack O'Sullivan, who was named on Play HQ, and we've just heard that he's a late out for the Wodonga Bulldogs. So and that would explain why we saw Liam Andrews earlier warming up at halftime with the reserves with the senior guys.
Other late outs for the Wangaratta Rovers as well, Brad Freak?
There is. Dylan Stone is out for the Wangaratta Rovers in the late one today as well.
Sam Henderson has replaced as Dylan Stone. So Dylan Stone out for the Wangaratta Rovers, replaced by Sam Henderson. And for the Wodonga Bulldogs, it is Liam Andrews in and Jack O'Sullivan, the big late out. What do you think that does for the matchups, Brad Freak? I reckon Charlie Morrison will probably go straight to El Marklu, but then they're going to have a resting ruckman down there as well.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for them. I think they really needed that 1-2 punch to try and look after Boyd and Marklu, because they are very damaging this year. I think that Boyd and Marklu combined to kick 65 goals this season, so they're really hard and pair to slow down. So if you're losing one of your prime defenders, it's going to make it that little bit harder. I'm not too sure who's going to be the person that gets that job on Boyd. If he's, as you say, I think that Mark Morrison will probably go to Marklu. So yeah, it's going to be a tough job for afternoon for whoever that is.
Might mean that Tommy Johnson will have to go and spend a fair bit of time maybe playing as a bigger player as well, Luke Francis. Again, as Freaky said, they've got Boyd, they're going to have a resting ruckman, and they're going to have El Marklu to cover down there, the Dogs.
Yeah, that's right, Panda. Gee, the Marklu or Morrison matchup, gee, that'll be worth watching, won't it? To one of the best defenders in the comp up against one of the best forwards. That's going to be an absolute ripper. What are you seeing, Freaky?
I think that Tommy Johnson, as you touched on, Luke, he might be going in the ruckies with Baker and Mathy and Jorgensen in the middle of the ground, and the defenders are moving, obviously, to the other end of the ground.
Yeah.
So it looks like Tommy's got one of his socks pulled up as well, so I dare say he might have a leg guard or some sort of protection of this. So that's one matchup that we won't be seeing today, obviously, as we just touched on there, without with Jack O'Sullivan being in the side, that they're going to be down a man there in their back half.
A big shout to our panel up back in the studios, Campbell Hobbs, who's doing some wonderful work, bringing us the action here on 3&E, and Travie Cartwright as well on our O&M Optus TV, the cameraman as well. If you're sitting on your couch, which a lot of people will be today, Freaky and Lukey, it's a bit of a miserable day across the region. A big thanks to Travie and Lukey Chilcott as well from Wangaratta and Indigo Computers, who bring you the live stream each and every single week. This is a massive game. Our umpires as well, Brad Freak also.
Mason Ring, Brenton Poole and David Ryan.
Three of the best in the business. All right, a tip from you, Brad Sprinkles Freak, on our 40-wing stat sheet.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Rovers at home. I watched them last week. They were super impressive last week, for especially the second and third quarter, and I just think that they're probably going to be a little bit too strong for the Dogs today.
Lukey Francis?
Yeah, I'll go with the Rovers by 4 goals here at home, Panda. What about yourself?
I think the Rovers purely because here at the WJ Finlay Oval as well. Top 3 on the line for the Rovers. A shot at September for the first time since 2009 for the Dogs. Best of luck as well to young Zach Sattore making his debut for the Wangaratta Rovers. Mason Ring about to hold the footy aloft, and we're about to get underway here at the WJ Finlay Oval. I'm not sure what Mason is waiting for at the moment. Brad Freak, you've spotted something?
Just a quick one. Looks like Geordie Taylor might be playing a bit of a defensive role on Sam Murray. Went straight to him and gave him a bit of a bear hug. So I reckon that's a matchup to watch for today.
Here's Lukey Francis, the Rovers and the Dogs on O&M Live for the Old Town and Country Tavern.
And away we go in round 16 of the O&M. Spiteri, almost with the first possession, got brought to ground. Players going in hard. Garish tried to get a boot to it. Looking them tearing in for the biscuit here. They stack on, and the umpire is going to take it. So, yeah, very overcast, very cool in Wang at the moment. So a little damp underfoot out there. Let's have a look.
Almost need the lights on, I reckon, Lukey.
Yeah, it's dark, isn't it, Panda? That is it. So McCarthy goes in, Johnson straight onto him, and again, we'll have another stoppage here straight away. So it's right of the centre at WJ Finlay Oval. Good afternoon to you. Let's have a look. As Murray brings it to ground. Garish came off his boot, goes along the ground. Deneen came out, got scooped up to Bolsh, who just hacks it in forward here. Rolling ball at the front of the pack. Baker scooped it up front and square. Morrison coming out from the Bulldogs from the fullback position, and he just hacks it out of defence. What do we got there, Panda? Okay, so I'll keep going, mate. Just starting the clock for us. Back out to Sam Murray, and then handballs it out wide to Garish. Gets around Noah Bradshaw, long entry here for the Rovers. Ball put down by Johnson. And then roving at the front here is Dylan Wilson. Goes over the top to Smith. Smith with a snap-on goal. That is a great start for the Wang Rovers. 6 points on the board on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. Macca's time clock has probably gone about, Panda.
Minute and a half.
Minute and a half. You beauty, 90 seconds here as we go to you, Freaky.
Yeah, really good play there by the Rovers. Probably wasn't really pretty play, but they just did enough in the conditions, kept the ball moving forward. Quick entry from Jack Garrish, and we just saw Tommy Johnson sitting behind the play there, which I think might be something we'll see for the day from the Dogs, getting his bigger body behind the ball there. And Dylan Wilson's one that I really want to touch on. I watched his game last week. I thought he was really strong for the Rovers against the Albury Tigers, and just a little goal assist there again. I think he's becoming one of the better small forwards in the competition.
Well done to Lukey Francis as well, having to do the first 90 seconds on his own here and calling it beautifully because, like always, I forgot to start the Macca's time clock.
We're right, Panda.
We don't have
mate.
a digital version here at the WJ Finlay, which catches us short a little bit, but
It does.
we played about 2 minutes and a great start for Joel Smith and the Rovers. Wonder what he would have been paying if there were odds today to kick the first goal. Please gamble responsibly. Little kick comes out defensively here for the Rovers. They flick it around through Chamberlain. Forward hand pass to McCarthy. Mathy has him for a match-up. It was brought to ground by McCarthy. Lots of players around this pill. McCarthy just hunting it. He was wrapped up beautifully there by the Wodonga Bulldogs. Matthew Wilson able to get rid of his opponent and paddle it over the boundary line. And after that, it's a bit of a stalemate. Bit of push and shove between the prime trainer, Matt Wilson. We've got a boundary throw in right in front of our commentary position. An early goal here to the Rovers through Joel Smith. They lead by one straight kick at A-grade Oils and Batteries first quarter.
Let's have a look. Boundary throw in. Umpire hurls it back into play. Murray gets up high, brings it to ground. Johnson. And then ball at ground level. And the umpire's going to call this. Jorgensen goes in. What do you got, Freaky?
You can see Toby Murray's already got the ascendancy in the ruck. He's just a leap over Tommy Johnson as well, and the height. It's probably going to be a big concern for the Dogs for today.
And then picking it up here, Matt Wilson. Tough in the clinches, and the umpire again will have it. Brad Freak, Blake Escott, and Luke Francis with you this afternoon. As we said, round 16 O&M action. Round 16 of 18 on 15.663 and E. Matt Wilson hacks it off the ground. Going back, Chamberlain. Ball beats him across the line. And we'll have another boundary throw in here, Panda.
We will indeed. Cloudy, overcast. Just a typical August winter's day here in Wangaratta. We have had a bit of rain here this morning as well. A couple of games of footy, the thirds and the seconds, and the ground's in ripping nick. So well done to the crew at the rural city of Wangaratta. Toss back into play. 60 around from the Dogs' goal. Well done there from Sam Jewell in the ruck. Wilson brought down in a heavy McCarthy tackle. Probably stiff there, the Rovers, not to win a free kick for holding the ball. Nolan, beautiful little left kick on the side of his foot. Beautiful out there to McNamara. To the running man there, that was Philo going out really wide and finding Tom Boyd. So the Rovers have transitioned the footy to the far side of the WJ Finlay. Comes back inboard here to Cody Shutt. We're taking his numbers today, Brad Sprinkles Freak.
Yeah, we are coming up with his first disposal of the game.
He's going to go long to the far side of the ground. Murray with courage coming in here and winning the football. He stuck a left mid out and he goes inside 50. Not his great effort to hit the deck. It was cut off beautifully by Angus Baker, who gets a 1-2 from Soroczynski.
Yeah, back to Soroczynski. And then a long one out of the defence for the Bulldogs. Goes down the line. McQuaid come over the top with a fist. Deneen after it now. Gaston comes from the opposite direction. And the line beats them there. And the ball's gone out of bounds. Right as centre wing. So if you just tuned in, Wang Rovers with the first goal on the board here, going the way of Joel Smith in the first 90 seconds. Umpire brings it back into play. That's a high throw-in. Gaston and Johnson, Matey roved it very well to Johnson. Then on to Jorgensen. Good footy from the Dogs. Here they go inside 50. Paddy Murray and Sam Jewell. Paddy Murray goes back. Just fumbles. Now picks it up. Sam Jewell's got him. He might be gone here, Murray. Just got it away in the nick of time. I thought there was a whistle there.
There was an advantage for a trip, Lukey.
Confusing, yeah. Matt Wilson outside 50 comes back for the Bulldogs. Great vision and gets it in to Wilding, who goes for a squaring kick. He's lost a bit of ground there, but he's found Jordan Taylor, so I reckon the captain will like that. Freaky?
Yeah, he certainly would. As you touched on, like, very confusing play there. I thought Paddy Murray was holding the ball for all money, and then just the end of the tackle probably got him a little bit late. Advantage paid, a quick kick out to Matt Wilson, who just found Oscar Wilding in the pocket and then did the team thing and squared it over to Geordie Taylor. He looked to put through the Dogs' first score of the day.
Yeah, so this to square the ledger. Jordan Taylor, the main man of the Wodonga Bulldogs, looking for a goal. 30 out to the netball court end, and he's kicked it. Evens it up. All square at WJ Finlay Oval. Jordan Taylor kicks a goal on the Pulleys Corner Cafe scoreboard. 6-all. Macca's time clock has gone about 6.5 here. Freaky opening term.
Yeah, 3 inside 50s apiece on the 40 wing stat sheet to start the game. So it was evenly poised at the moment. As we touched on before, Tommy Johnson looks like he's going to be playing that kick behind the play. When the ball was up in this high half forward for the Wodonga Bulldogs, he was playing a loose man in front of Alex Marklew and Tom Boyden around the air to affect those contests. Because obviously losing Jack O'Sullivan today, they need his extra height down there, but they also need him in the ruck. They probably need him a bit everywhere today, I'd say.
Just watching Sam Murray before as well, gents. Just watch his foot. He was very proppy and made his way back very slowly into defence. Hacked off the ground here by Noah Spiteri. It's in the middle of the ground. Well done from Bradshaw. He was clean at ground level. On to Johnson. His kick wasn't great. Chopped up here by Will Nolan. Not the only one wearing the dreadlocks today as well, gents. Could get a bit confusing. Zach Sattore, the debutant, also rocks the dreadlocks. Nickname is Yakka. Beautiful kick from Nolan, finds the FUD. Al Marklew, long way from home. A beautiful kick out wide here, finds Brody Philo. Goes short into the pocket. Beautiful Rovers play, sliding in and taking the mark. Inside 50 was Tom Boyd at ground level. And he's going to go for a kick probably about, well, you'll have to kick this every bit of 50 on a 45-degree angle, Freaky.
Yeah, you certainly will. You can see when the Rovers move the ball so quickly and they get a bit of time and space, they're really, really hard to stop, and they play their home ground so well. Obviously, in the middle of the ground there, Markley getting the ball off to Philo, you get some of your better ball users in with the footy in hands, then it's going to mean good things. And I really like Tom Boyd in the forward half for him. Saw him earlier in the back line for the Rovers, but much, much more reliable up forward. 25
goals in season 2023 for Tom Boyd is a beautiful set shot, and that is a wonderful effort. A steal line goal that I contender. 2 straight, the Wangaratta Rovers and the Wodonga Bulldogs, just the 1 goal. A wonderful set shot from Tom Boyd. Brad Sprinkles freak.
Yeah, he was pretty quiet last week as well, Tom Boyd, only kicking the 1 goal. He was held pretty well by the Albury defence down there at the sports ground. So it'd be good for his confidence to get him up and about in this game early, get him on the scoreboard nice and early. And a beautiful kick then too from, would have been 52, 53 metres out and hit the fence on the full. So beautiful, beautiful long kick for him to start the game. Good confidence booster to start this one.
Yeah, great strike. We're going about 8.5 on the Macca's time clock. First term, Gaston, big swipe out of the ruck. And then Bradshaw, Noah just swings it around. Matt Wilson takes it at half forward, so a nice mark, and then swings in low ball. Look at that for delivery. Wielding punch from his hands. Kitching went by him. Garish ended up with it for the Hawks. Swings around, gets onto that right foot and pushes it to the outer side. Now this is Sattore.
He's got the long sleeves on, Lukey.
He has.
Helping us out.
Yeah, thank goodness. So 2 men in dreadlocks, as Panda said. We've got Will Nolan and Zach Sattore. And the guys running around like, Johnny Plattons, if you like. The Rat. And there goes Baker, brought to ground. Johnson ends up with it. It's been tight and close here, opening term. Bradshaw spat it out to, and then it goes down to Yelland.
Out in the full.
Yeah, it is out on the full here. So the Rovers will get it through Jack Garish. Fluoro boots here, Panda half back, far side.
First quarter action for A-grade oils and batteries. We've gone about 10 minutes on our Macca's time clock. And then, of course, it's the Rovers by 6 on our Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. There's a whistle here, holding the ball, Mason Ring says, and a free kick here to the Dogs. It's Ollie Greenhill, former captain. True centre wing, right in front of the old scoreboard here. Showground side of the WJ Finlay. A pretty clogged forward half. He just pops it up to half forward. Big pack forms. The dual stick flies over the top. Comes out the back here of Wielding. Kitching also involved. Paddy Murray just worries him over the boundary line. We've got a restart. 50 around from the Dogs' goal. Brad Freak, 40 winks.
Yeah, 5 early touches for Jack Garish. He leads all comers on the 40-wink stat sheet. Angus Baker is up to the 4 disposals, 4 inside 50s apiece as well. So pretty even across the board at the moment. Really good start to this one.
Gaston and also Sam Jewell this time. And a strong contest on the outer side. Again, another stoppage. Wang Rovers coming off a 16-point loss to the Albury Tigers last Saturday in Albury. Prior to that, they had won their last 3 versus the Raiders, Panthers and the Saints. A lot of numbers around the ball here. Dylan Wilson just gets it forward for the Rovers. Coming out was Boyd. He's a long way from home. Morrison spun out of trouble. The ball back to Yelland. Kick was smothered. Garish goes in, scoops it up off the deck. Quick handball to Bolsh. Prime Train swings around. And this is Sattore again. And he's gone, I reckon. Yeah, the umpire's pinged him. Bulldogs with it. They're about to send it back in. Oh, Very ordinary kick, trying to find Jet Cassidy, but Sam Murray, as he does so often, sitting in the hole, Brad Freak.
Yeah, it just looks like Dylan Wilson's just slow to get to his feet on the other side of the ground at the moment. He's up there, up at the moment now. Some trainers are over to him. Hopefully he'll be all right.
Charles Ledger in the bright blue boots plays on at half-back, kicks to the advantage of Mark Liu, able to worry Sorochinski out of it, so that's a big matchup. Mark Liu might have Sorochinski for size. Mark Liu pulls the kick across his body beautifully to Tom Boyd, who marks 48 metres out. And as we just saw before, Freaky and Lukey, he has this distance on him. In fact, he passes it off to Philo. A good man to have the footy in. He pumps it long. It's across the face. Got the distance, no worries. It's punched through in the end over the line for a minor score. The first blemish on our Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. We've played 11 minutes of the Macca's time clock. The Rovers 13 and the Dogs 6. Brad Freak.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised that Boyd didn't go back and have a shot there. He obviously, we saw, as you said, Penta, a couple of minutes earlier, have a shot from in a similar distance on a 45-degree angle, put it straight through the middle. A beautiful kick. I'm a bit surprised he didn't go back and take that one on, but obviously a very good man to handball the ball off to him, Brody Philo.
Ball back in. Johnson with a big fly over the top. Comes out the back. Matey just gets it forward. Running after it though, Nolan. He's got a bit of time here. Picks it up and he wants to send it to the outer side. Good kick. Finding Garish. It's been busy early, Jack. And goes down the line with about a 25-metre kick. Finds Lewis. Lewis low driving ball. Oh, good mark. Did he get to that? No. Bolsh just put it down. And Garish goes again. Sends it in with a long ball. Gee, it's just missed to the far side and gone through for one behind. So 14 plays 6 in the Paulie's Corner Cafe. This is the opening term on the Macca's time clock. We're going about 12 and a half, close to 13 minutes, Panda.
We have indeed. Luke Francis, Brad Freak and Panda Escott with you for the Old Town and Country Tavern. And Brad Freak's that good today, Luke Francis. He's doing his stats for 40 winks and then special comments for What is Electrical as well.
Very talented, Panda.
He is indeed. Up and about after the Pies win before and your beautiful... we'll call of Far Lap's 1932 win in Mexico. The Dogs switched the footy beautifully across the other side of the WJ Finlay. Jordan Taylor just kept his feet beautifully and pumps a left foot down the line. Big contest there at half forward. The dual stick caught one in the ribs from Sam Murray. It was completely fair. Murray goes in, wants the inside, wins the ball beautifully, tumbles one in the middle of the ground. A couple of players it goes past here. Matthew Wilson cleverly taps it back here to the left foot of Liam Andrews, the late in, and he comes out wide here to Matt Wilson for the Dogs.
Yeah, Wilson goes in. Look at that for a hit. Oh, just put it to deck. Did he wielding? The umpire said play on. McNamara had him wrapped up. Gee, what did you think, Freaky?
Yeah, he obviously just dropped it there in the middle. I'm just looking. I think it's actually Angus Baker on the other side of the ground there, Panda. He still hasn't moved from that marking contest with Samo because Jules just in the ruck here. So I'm thinking it's Angus Baker over there in the ground at the hands of the trainers at the moment.
Well picked up, Brad Sprinkles. Freak. Huge story, Lukey.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. Lewis just down in front of our broadcast spot. And then Ainsworth got ripped around in the tackle by Smith. Now, Baker's in a lot of trouble as... Freaky pointed out, there's 3 trainers out there with him, and he looks like he's coming to the pine.
Yeah, he looks like his feet now. It looks like he might have just copped a knee to the ribs, chest area, might have just winded him. He's just trying to get the air back in his lungs, but he's up on running off in his own 2 feet now, so hopefully he'll be okay for the Dogs.
Yep, Sam Jewell dishes out to Ainsworth. They sent it in again, the Dogs. Murray back there, look at him. One of the favourites for the Morris medal, and he gets it out to McNamara. And the Rovers will get out here, Panda.
They will indeed. So Angus Baker staying on the ground, which is really, really good news. McNamara's kick finds McCarthy, who just goes in and wins the pill. They got the outnumber here if it sits for Joel Smith. Forward hand pass here. Amory, that's Elijah. Left foot kick's a really good one. Just juggling it there was Tom Boyd. Not able to get around a really good tackle there from Venturoni for the Dogs. Amory went in there, tried to hand pass it, gone. Holding the ball. Great pressure from the Wodonga Bulldogs, and that will please Jordan Taylor. They're the sort of efforts you'll show at quarter time. And there's another whistle here. Is it a reversal?
No, there was a bit of a scuffle going on there. I think one of the Dogs players got thrown to the ground. Probably a little bit unlucky they didn't get a 50 with the umpire standing right there. But, yeah, that's what the second whistle was there for. But it looks like they're going to take the kick now.
It is. It's through Harry Kitching. Not much of Harry. Goes in every week hard, though. So 2 early goals here for the Rovers, 1 for the Dogs, and an 8-point lead here to the Rovers on 3N's O&M Live. Geordie Taylor got very high. Not sure that was in his capabilities. And we've got a ball up right in front of the scoreboard here with the WJ Finlay. True centre wing, 8-point lead to the Rovers. We've got a goal to Tom Boyd and a goal to Joel Smith, while 1 to Geordie Taylor for the Dogs. Lukey Francis.
Let's have a look, Panda. Umpire sends it up. Johnson, Toby Murray over the top. Philo, great work to get it to McCarthy. Ball knocked out again. Out of bounds, touch over the line. So 14 playing 6 here. We'll just wait for this umpire to sort it out. He's going to spin back around.
Really quickly around the grounds. Myrtleford lead North Albury 25-24. Wangaratta 19-3 over Lavington. And Albury 18-7 over the Raiders.
So great start for the Maggies, and that's an all-important game against the Panthers at the sports ground. Taken across the line again by Zach Sattore. He's had a couple of early touches here on debut. The umpire back with it. Gee, we've had some ball-ups and boundary throw-ins here in the opening term here. So he worked up to about the 17-minute mark on the Macca's time clock. Mathy got swung around in the tackle, kept his feet beautifully, goes again. Smith got him. Henderson goes in. And the umpire's going to call it. So let's have a look. You guessed it, another stoppage. That was Smith handing it back to the umpire.
Not much happening here, it's fair to say, Lukey.
Not much, Panda. Yeah, right of centre wing, far side. There's not much space for these players at present.
There isn't. Josh Mathy just found it when there was none, though, and comes inside with a really attacking kick. Harry Kitchings had a couple of good moments. He marks, goes out wide. Oh, juggling attempt here from Yell, and it sits for him. Inside 50 balls, a nice one here. Finds Jet Cassidy. He's probably just too far out to score. He loads up from 50, sits it to the goal square. Probably not a good kick in the end. Matt Wilson going to end up a goal. Wasn't a great kick. Thank you very much from Matt Wilson. Beautiful little stoppage in the goal square. Snapped it over his shoulder, and the Dogs got their second. They go to 2 straight 12. The Rovers 2-2-14. In the end, it was just great roving from Matt Wilson, Freaky.
Yeah, he actually read the play quite well because all the pack of players was running backwards towards goals, and he actually just put his hands up to try and mark it, but just sort of brought it to ground in front of him where the space was, and was the only person that kept his feet, and he was able to jump back onto the ball and snap a nice little goal there as well. He's up to 5 disposals as well on the 40-wing stat sheet to start this game too, Matt Wilson. So he started the game well for the Wodonga Bulldogs, and there's something big going on off the play here. Like Geordie Taylor is just on the ground, and it looks like he's going to get a free kick 30 metres out directly in front.
I had my notes down. I was writing something in my book here, but I did look up and see Geordie Taylor go to the ground and an off-the-ball free kick. Lukey Francis.
Yeah, so Sam Murray and Ledge. So Ledge is the man on the mark, and Sam Murray is very close. Did you see Freaky? What?
No, I didn't, but I have Geordie Taylor is working pretty hard on Sam Murray today, so I can only imagine the two of them had a bit of a scuffle.
Yeah, so this is for 2 within 20 seconds. And now Jordan Taylor's done a hammy kicking that ball.
Oh, no.
He's done a hamstring. He's coming to the bench, and he's kicked it behind.
Wow.
Yeah, so what a turn of luck for that man. He just can't get any continuity at all. So, dear oh dear, there's Jordan hobbling to the bench.
That's the strangest 30 seconds of the year, I reckon, Luke. An off-the-ball free kick. Geordie Taylor goes and kicks a set shot directly in front, and he's now hobbling to the bench with what looks like a really bad hamstring.
No good at all. No good at all. Let's have a look. Johnson, Murray. This is left of the centre now. Wilson again. Just got brought down as he took his kick. Rovers, though, win the ball to Smith. Under pressure from Kitching, and Smith just gets on the boot. Nice kick to Philo in the end. Philo just boots it down there towards the arc of the 50 where it meets the boundary line. Ball bounces out of bounds, and that's towards the Evans Street end. As we go back to you, Freaky, we'll just check our inside 50s, early days, first term.
Yeah, Wangaratta Rovers just falling behind the Bulldogs at the moment. 8 for the Wodonga Bulldogs, 6 for the Wangaratta Rovers early in this game, but 2 goals apiece. So I've been able to take advantage of when they do go forward. Just noticing a little bit of rain starting to fall out there at the moment as well, boys. So conditions are going to get a little bit more slipperier.
14-13, a 1-point lead early days here to the Rovers. Left foot kick from Philo inside 50. Wasn't too bad. It's 50 out from home. Well done there from Venturoni for the Dogs, just to dribble it into the middle of the ground. Coming out and meeting it there was Wilding, straight through his hands, but they might have the overlap here. Yellen just puts it on the boot to half forward. All Rovers back there in numbers, though. One of those, Paddy Murray. He kicks out really wide. Venturoni got ran down from behind for the Dogs. Able to get a little kick away, though. Yellen hand passes it over to Sam Jewell. The stick goes inside forward 50. Cassidy out the back takes a mark on Charles Ledger. And young Cassidy will line up for the Dogs third. He'll run around here from probably 10 metres out on a slight angle.
A really good kick there from Sam Jewell. Just really only kicked it to the advantage side of young Cassidy.
Comes around, snaps, and he's hit the post. Tom Hawkins in the 2011 Grand Final. It snuck in off the post, but he's missed it. That is a massive moment. Early stages in this first quarter. You got to nail those. The Wodonga Bulldogs, they go to 2 goals, 3-15. The Wangaratta Rovers, 2-2-14. Wow, Brad Freet, you got to finish those.
Yeah, you certainly do, especially games that you really need to win. And obviously today, goals may become a bit of a premium later in the day when the conditions do set in a little bit more, so you want to be putting those ones through.
Sorry, 2-2-14 the Dogs, 2-2-14 the Rovers.
Yeah, big miss from Jet Cassidy.
You do that a lot, Lukey.
It's stuff that's not on, mate.
Keep going. I'll call the action and then we'll sort this one out for you. So we've got a boundary throw in. 60 out here. No, it's a free kick here to the Wodonga Bulldogs. It's in the hands of the dual stick. He goes inside forward 50, looking for Wilding. Jace McQuaid punched the footy clear for the Rovers, and they got a bit of space in the middle of the ground. Amory links up with Mark Lou, who just handballs it to space. Here's Dylan Wilson running onto the end of this one, tumbling inside forward 50. In fact, it was Justin Lewis. It's an open goal square. It's tumbling. It's through for a minor score. Great open play here at the WJ Finlay Oval from the Rovers. A point to Justin Lewis. And the Rovers go to 15. The Dogs 14. It's a 1-point lead on our Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard.
8 inside 50s for the Wangaratta Rovers in this first quarter for 9 for the Wodonga Bulldogs. Just been able to just been pretty even in the game in both half of them. So really good play from both teams.
You back, Lukey?
I'm back, Panda.
You're back.
What happened?
I'm not sure. Technology.
Yeah, that was interesting. Rightio. Down the line. Well, I had my switch on. I don't know what the story is there. Anyway, they're plugged in now. Morrison.
Demons, Lukey.
Demons.
Demons in our technology system.
Yeah, gremlins. That's what they call them, don't they? Anyway, out of the full-back position or close to a back pocket by Morrison. And now it's out of bounds again. Oh, these boundary throw-ins first term. I'll tell you
Started
what.
off pretty good the first 5 or 6 minutes. Nice and open. It's just tightened up a little bit at the moment, Freaky, hasn't it?
There was a lot last week in the Rovers game against Sawbury in the first quarter. Scott Montgomery thought we were on world record pace for the amount of stoppages that we had in the first 15, 20 minutes, and he was pretty keen to get the world record, but I don't think the average punter watching wants to see stoppage after stoppage.
Who's keen to see a rolling maul? That's strange.
Well,
Scott Montgomery.
Monty was.
Murray got it down. McCarthy slid it on his knees. Garish quickly on the boot. Now that's Sorochinsky getting it back. Oh, gee. Ainsworth caught one. That's okay. Cross half back to Deneen now. Here come the Bulldogs off half back. Looking for Jet Cassidy and makes it. No, just bounced before him across the chalk here. Left of the interchain gates near side. At the moment, the Wang Rovers lead by 1 point over the Wodonga Bulldogs. 15-14 in the Paulie's Corner Cafe. And we've got about 24 minutes first term.
On the 40 wing stat sheet, Jack Garish up to 8 disposals. Brody Philo, 7. Sam Murray, 6. And Alex McCarthy, 6 for the Wangaratta Rovers.
Amory brought down in a really strong tackle there by Tommy Johnson, getting cheers from the Wodonga Bulldogs bench. So a goal to Tommy Boyd and Joel Smith for the Rovers, and a goal to Matt Wilson and Jordan Taylor, who's now gone off with a hamstring injury, we believe, as well, which is devastating for the Wodonga Bulldogs. Cade Brown brought down in a big tackle. Well done there from Justin Lewis, who just adds something, adds some real spark. The young fella from Corolla. He's got a free kick here on centre wing. Kick was just off the side of the boot. Will it stay in play? It won't. Not a great effort there, out of bounds on the full. And a free kick to the Dogs. 50 out from their own defensive goal. They trail by 1 point in this super important O&M clash. If they win one of their last 3, they will play finals. The Rovers still a sniff to play, well, get a double chance and finish third, Lukey Francis, for the Old Town and Country Tavern.
So here they come, the Bulldogs, back out of the back pocket. It's going to be turned over. Mark Clue. Morrison was right onto him. Dropped the ball, Mark Clue. I don't know how that wasn't caught. Holding the ball, possibly knocked out in the tackle. Holding the ball rule these days, though, I just can't work it out.
Subjective.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a mess, really. And I'm talking about the highest level also. Now,
that just sounds like a salty Geelong supporter, don't you think, Brad Freak?
Boundary umpire getting a
had the rub of the green last night, didn't they?
Ridiculous workout in this first term. Going again. Here we go. Ground level. McCarthy comes in. Swung around in the tackle. Sorochinsky. Some rough play here. It's pretty wild and chaotic. Down forward to the Evans Street end. Gaston came steaming out. Players trying to tear in here at ground level. This will be another stoppage. Crazy first term.
the defences of both sides, I think, are working really well in this first quarter as well. Obviously, both teams have had around about both had 9 inside 50s, but just haven't been able to get so much fluency going forward. I think Morrison's job so far, and Michael, who's been good, he hasn't really been sighted in this game.
Gaston just tapped it out the back of the stoppage, and once again we're going to have another stoppage as the prime train wraps up Noah Bradshaw. So still camped about 45 around from the Rovers goal. Late stages of this opening term, we've played 27 minutes on our Macca's time clock. First quarter for A-grade oils and batteries, and we have another stoppage inside forward 50. A late goal here from the Wangaratta Rovers. Just to break this first quarter open, which is what they'd be after here. Matey just left the football behind. Once again, we're going to have another stoppage here. 52 around from the Rovers goal. Bradford, we might chase up some around the ground scores if we can in the other round 16 SSNA Ovens and Murray games. Lukey Francis.
Yeah, Panda Murray. And got it down to Philo. Ends up with Kitching for the Bulldogs. Out wide to Andrews. Left foot. Heading towards centre wing. This will find the line, this ball, I reckon. This will be another boundary throw, will it? No, Spaturi just gets it in the nick of time. Thank goodness. Noah turned up. Then a long one. And then that one's intercepted and marked by Toby Murray. So down in front of our broadcast spot. He's in 2 or 3 minds here, Toby, I reckon. Now heads in towards the middle. Beautiful kick in the end. Finding Alex McCarthy. And there's the siren to bring the first break. And the Wang Rovers lead by 1 point at quarter time. 2-3-15 to the Wodonga Bulldogs. 2-2-14. This is O&M Live. And remember, on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring and we want you on our team. Flex
flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
inspiring,
hands-on,
flexible, fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
A little bit scrappy midway through that first quarter, but more importantly from the Rovers' perspective, it's a 1-point lead, the barest of margins. 2-3-15 over the Wodonga Bulldogs, 2-2-14. And quickly before we go to you, Brad Freak, looking at the Wodonga Bulldogs huddle at the moment, Jordan Taylor is out there addressing the troops as hard as ever with ice around his hamstring.
Yeah, I think you can probably put a line through him. He's just trying to watch him come off the ground now as well. And he's moving all right considering, but he's certainly come off the ground before and a bit of a hobble. If we do look at the first quarter, the Optus quarter's best for that first quarter on the Wangaratta Rovers side of things with Jack Garish. I thought out on that wing, he was outstanding. His leg speed in today is probably going to be something that's really going to shine through with these wetter, heavier conditions. So I thought him on the wing. And on the other wing was Matt Wilson for the Wodonga Bulldogs. So I thought he was the Optus quarter's best for the Wodonga Bulldogs in that first quarter. If we have a look at the 40-wing stat sheet, inside 50s, even with both teams, 9 apiece. Both teams had the same amount of entries. Obviously, Rovers had one more scoring shot in that first quarter. Marks relatively similar. Everything's very even across the board in terms of the team stats, and it's showing that out on the field as well. If we have a look at the possession getters for that first quarter, Jack Garish and Brody Philo both had 8 disposals in our 40-wing stat sheet, 6 each for Sam Murray and Alex McCarthy. And on the Wodonga Bulldogs side of things, Matt Wilson had the 6, Angus Baker had the 5. Actually, after having, I don't know if he actually ended up coming off after having that really heavy knock, which we think was just a wind, got winded in that first quarter. He had the 5 disposals for the Wodonga Bulldogs.
Really quickly around the grounds, quarter time in the other SSNA Ovens and Murray games. The Albury Tigers 30, Wodonga Raiders 9, Wangaratta Magpies 28, Lavington 9, and Myrtleford 32 over North Albury 24. And here at the WJ Finlay Oval, a 1-point lead to the Wangaratta Rovers. Let's hope that it just breaks open a little bit here in this second quarter and we start to see some free-flowing footy. Lukey Francis to get us underway for Wang Motor Group in this second quarter on 3&E.
Murray clearly won the tap, down to Philo, got brought down in a strong tackle. Johnson at ground level fighting away for it, shut over the top of him, and the umpire will call for it this time. Yep, so the Rovers by a point here at WJ Finlay. The start of the second term against the Bulldogs. Ends up with Baker hurriedly on the boot, up in the air. Wilson comes out. As Freaky said, played a great opening quarter for the Maroon and White and then sends it in with a low driving kick coming out wielding, knocked out of his hands by McQuaid. And there's a whistle here. It's going to be a free kick. And it's going the way of McQuaid. Handballs off to Sam Murray. Looping one over the top to Philo. Philo to McCarthy. Alex wants to spear one back towards the centre. Smith got swung around in the tackle and brought to ground and he's gone. And the Wodonga Bulldogs will get it right on centre wing.
Cade Brown takes the advantage. The tackle was from Josh Mathy and Kitching's just been harassed off the footy. And another free kick here to young Harry Kitching and the Wodonga Bulldogs was against El Marklew. Just brought him off the football. He's got Mathy short if he wants him, who started this great defensive effort here for the Dogs. Kicks to half forward. Just didn't give it a go there, Cassidy. Ball hit the deck. Brown went in hard. Soroczynski, did he cop one high? He did. And he wins the free kick on centre wing. So playing around with a bit here, the Dogs. They haven't really gone too far up the WJ Finlay Oval. Soroczynski's right on centre wing. Right in front of the benches from both sides. There's a jam-packed forward line. He just sits it up to a dangerous position. They fly, and then out the back, Paddy Murray takes a defensive mark on Sam Jewell, and he'll just sit there and he'll nervously kick out wide, and he finds El Marklew at half-back.
Yeah, one save Panther. He looked like he was going for the switch, but he He's come back, hasn't he? Broadcast side to Mark Clue. Now Mark Clue wants to switch it to the goal square.
He's kicked a point.
Yeah. Past Chamberlain, it's rolled through for one behind. So wasn't the best piece of footy.
Can you give us another call, Lukey, please? Another race day call for us?
You might have to, Panda, to fill in. His ball's gone over the fence and someone's got to go and fetch it here for Chamberlain. What do you reckon, Freaky?
I've done that before, kicking across goals way back when I used to play footy. A wet day like today, but actually tighter angle and put it through for a goal rather than a behind, but it was a behind.
Did you claim it?
Oh, yeah. They only reduced us, put us up to 100 points down rather than 99 points down, so it was good.
Who are you playing for, Freaky?
I can't even remember, Luke. It was that long ago.
Sam Murray, massive kicking out of defence into the centre square. He's Greenhill for the Bulldogs, picks it up, sends it to the arc here. Evan Street end. Smith, handball up to Murray. This one to Lewis. Lewis, quick one on the boot to Brody Philo. Rovers have it at the Evan Street end here, and he goes left down the line.
He's just a smart player, that Justin Lewis. Found space when there wasn't much, and Toby Murray has it on true centre wing. Getting lots of advice from his own bench there. Always wants to come in board with a really aggressive kick, Murray. Probably wasn't the right option because he's turned it over and it's opened up here for the Dogs. Johnson kicks to half forward. A really good defensive fist from McQuaid over there on Wilding. Jorgensen did well just to get a hand pass to it when he was brought down in a big heavy tackle. Wilding kicked it off the ground. The Bulldogs set sail from 50, kick it to the goal square, out the back, taking another great mark, Jet Cassidy. And he'll go back from a very similar spot to where he kicked it behind in the first quarter. Freaky, he has to make this one count 5 metres out.
Yeah, he certainly does. But and it's similar to that one in the first quarter as well, Panda. Really good, smart body use by Jet Cassidy. Just being able to get his opponent underneath the ball and just let the fall of the ball just basically fall into his chest. We can see he's going for a drop punt this time rather than the snap around the corner. Let's see if it has better results for him.
So this to put the Dogs in front by a goal. Proving to be a nuisance as Jet Cassidy comes in. That's better, Jet, I should say. A wonderful goal. And great play from the Wodonga Bulldogs. The first goal here in this second quarter. They go 3-3-21. The Rovers 2-3-15 on our CMV truck and bus scoreboard.
It's a little interesting stalemate that's going on within the game. We're seeing when the ball is in the middle of the ground, both teams are dropping a couple behind the play. Tommy Johnson was one who was dropped behind the play. They intercepted that ball from Toby Murray. He's a direct opponent at the moment, was able to transition the ball across the other end of the ground. But conversely, at the other end, Toby Murray and Sam Murray previously were free in the Wodonga Bulldogs forward half. So it's a really interesting stalemate that's going to be in this game. We'll be wondering how long till those blokes get matched up all across the ground.
Close to 5 gone on the Macca's time clock. Back in the centre. Shut. Handballs up to Alex McCarthy and just thumps it inside 50 with the long torp. Have a look at that one. Deneen got a one hand to it. Boyd comes out. Right foot snap on goal. Rolling. Oh, well done, Liam Andrews getting back and fisting across for one behind. So 22 plays 15. On the CMV truck and bus scoreboard, Macca's time clock has gone just over, probably about 5.5 here, second term.
That was a Mawson's concrete play that day from McCarthy. Just a big barrel. We don't see enough of it in local footy. See a little bit of it in the AFL these days. Not a great kick out of defence there from Kitching for the Dogs. It's been chopped off here by Toby Murray. Just forward to centre for the Rovers. It's a beautiful kick for a ruckman. You put him under the pump there, and a great defensive mark there from Charlie Morrison. Wants to switch the footy for the Dogs. The ball wasn't a great switch. Ask a lot of Baker, and now he's outnumbered. Had to shovel it back to a few teammates. Andrews went in there and gave him a hand. Spat it out here to Ainsworth. He got it on pretty quickly here to Ollie Greenhill. Left foot kick went down the line and found Baker. He goes short to Mathy. So a dangerous position and a dangerous switch. Might turn out all right here for the Dogs. They got the number here in the middle of the ground. Tommy Johnson marks. Plays on straight away. Kicks to half forward. Jorgensen with courage takes a nice mark on McNamara. 60 out for the Dogs.
Adam goes inside 50. Oh, look at that. A man free all on his own. It's Sam Jewell. No within a country mile of him there, Freaky.
Yeah, McNamara's direct opponent actually came up the ground to man the mark where Jorgensen had the footy then and just left Sam Jewell out on his own. I thought he wasn't going to be quick enough to turn around Jorgensen and get it to him, but he was in time. But this is a really big kick for the Dogs here. Get a couple of goal break on the Rovers early in the second quarter.
Yeah, the man on the mark is at about 45. Here he goes, Sam Jewell. Evan Street end, 45-degree angle. No, it stays right, and it's gone through for one behind. So 22 plays 16 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. Macca's time clock has gone close to 7 minutes here. Second term, here's Blake Escott for McRae Motors.
So the Wangaratta Rovers blowing a chance here. And the Wodonga Bulldogs as well there. Sam Murray with pace out of defence, finds his left foot and kicks here to Cam Chamberlain. Gives it to the running man, Gerish. Now, he loves to run and gun. Didn't really know what to do with it there, so he hand passed it to Justin Lewis, and his kicking today has been a highlight. Goes inboard to McCarthy. They've switched the footy beautifully here, the Rovers. Nolan has runners moving for him. One of them here was Sam Henderson. He just left it for Elijah Amory, who juggled it back to Ledger. His kick was smothered beautifully here from Kitching, who's played a really good game for the Dogs. And he forces a boundary throw in here, right in front of our commentary position. Great defensive effort there from the Wodonga Bulldogs. In fact, it wasn't Kitching, it was Cohen Ainsworth. Well done, boundary throw in. True centre wing. The Dogs 22 lead the Rovers 16 on our CMV truck and bus scoreboard. 7 gone, second term.
Shot at ground level, scoops it up, sends it out to Nolan. Nolan left foot, short one, 25 metres. Sature, virtually his twin, overran the ball. Deneen off the deck, whistle, and that's a throw. So the ball's going to go the way here. Let's have a look. It's going to go the way of Elijah Amory. So he's a long way from home. He's probably about 80 out, 75 to 80 out. Greenhill said he's gone around. Umpire calls play on. Into the pocket. Boyd. Good fist away by Andrews. Philo picks it up. Left foot Banana. And came off the wrong side of the boot across the face of goal. Bouncing. Baker keeps the ball in play. And then gets it inside to Charlie Morrison. Morrison. One way. Back the other. Dances. Now he's gone. And a great tackle put on by Lewis. So the Rovers here applying strong pressure and a great chance here to pick up a goal.
They are indeed. Hasn't Justin Lewis been a revelation for the Wangaratta Rovers, Brad Freak?
Yeah, he certainly has been. Last week, him and Dylan Wilson, I thought, up in their forward half, really were a spark for them early in that game and gave them a lot of energy, and they're doing the same again today.
So Lewis, in the end, pulls the kick to the top of the goal square. They fly. Boyd not able to mark. Well done defensively from Tommy Johnson. Hacked out of there by the Dogs. Going back bravely with courage. Cody Shutt takes a mark. Too far out to score. Lowers the eyes in the direction of Amory. Good heat applied on him there from the Dogs. And we've got a ball up, 45 out from the Wangaratta Rovers goal. Still a 6-point margin here to the way of the Wodonga Bulldogs. Almost 10 played on the Macca's time clock. Second quarter for Wang Motor Group. The prime train trying to take the ruck over Tommy Johnson. Not sure that's in his pedigree. Spill, there's a whistle here. And there's going to be a free kick to Wodonga. Okay, for a throw. That's why Brad Freak is the best for Waters. He's doing it all today. Stats and special comments, Lukey Francis.
Yeah, well picked up, Freaky. So a two-handed sort of scoop. Wasn't a push out the side by Mark Clue.
Yeah, it was. Just a real quick one the umpire picked up on there well.
Free kick to Matey here. Nolan coming in on him. Just copped him high. Baker under pressure here. Boyd after him. Baker just got his kick away. Sends it to centre wing. Sam Murray sitting out the back and then wants to shift it quickly to the outer side. And the kick is just going to bounce in front of Gerish. K. Brown coming from the opposite direction. Gerish brought him down in a strong tackle, sling tackle. And Jack saying, sorry,
He
Kay.
might be in trouble
didn't mean
there.
to get. Now, Kay Brown doesn't stuff around. He just gets moving, sends it inside 50 with a horrid kick. Shocking, very unattractive. Spiteri after it. And it's gone across the line. So 22 plays 16 here. The Bulldogs up by 6 points on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. It's the second term. Macca's time clock's gone 10.5, Freaky.
On the 40 wing stat sheet, Angus Baker and Sam Murray both up to 5 disposals each in this second quarter.
Only the one goal in this second term. It was from Jet Cassidy at the 4th minute mark. So we've gone around 7 minutes for no goal. And Sam Murray hacks it out of there defensively from the Rovers. It bounces to the way of the Dogs here. And a high free kick. Tommy Johnson. The Rovers don't like it. Thought he ducked. And Tommy's got it. Too far out to score. Kicks it to the hot spot beautifully. Good defensive fist there from Jace McQuaid. Falls to Noah Bradshaw. Fakes one way, the other. Jams it on the boot. Going in there. McCarthy with his head over the footy. Always has it. Shut under pressure. Going in there and dropping the ball in the end was Wilding. Lucky not to get caught holding the ball. Yelland over this footy. McCarthy has him. Lots of desperation at ground level. And in the end, it spills out here to Philo. And he just puts it on the right clapper and kicks it as far as he can. Greenhill up against the prime train. Prime train worries it out of him well. Jams it on the boot. Kicks it up towards Tommy Boyd. And in the end, he's brought over the boundary line. A good tackle from Charlie Morrison. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Just 4 to centre here from the Wangaratta Rovers. Still 16 to 12. The The Dogs lead on our CMV truck and bus scoreboard. Brad Freak.
In this second quarter, 6 inside 50s to 4 in favour of the Wodonga Bulldogs. Just kicking that one goal in this term. Just need to take a little bit more advantage when they do go forward.
And how are our clearances looking, Freaky?
Yeah, I'll do the centre clearances, Lukey, and the Wangaratta Rovers are on top of that as well at the moment. It's 3-1 in that favour of the game.
Okay, Soroczynski here is going to pick up a free kick. High against Elijah Amory. And then he wants to swing it into half-back. This is Kay Brown and shifts it out to Spiteri. Now Noah's got some room and some time to move. Just chips it over the top to Veneroni. True centre wing. Free man in Jet Cassidy. Plays on for the Bulldogs. Now what do they got forward here? Jet is going to send it in with the high ball. A good entry here for the Doggies. Oh, Murray just put it to deck. Jorgensen goes after it. Adam fumbling off the ground. He's got it. Great goal. That's a beauty. And that is a steal-line goal of the day to Adam Jorgensen. The Bulldogs, 28. Lead the Rovers 16 here on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. And we're going close to 13 minutes, second term.
It was a really good switch of play from the Dogs there to move from one side of the ground to the other, find Noah Spiteri in a bit of space, and then just some really good ball use. And then Jet Cassidy put it to the dangerous area about 15, 20 metres out. And as a good small man does, Adam Jorgensen at the feet of the pack and just been able to get the ball in front of himself. And then a nice little dribble kick off the ground in for a goal is really nice to see. Good day for it. Obviously, we want to see the Matildas doing plenty of that this afternoon as well.
Absolutely, Brad Freak. He's putting together some year, Adam Jorgensen, averaging 17 disposals at 75%, and he's now kicked his 17th goal. If that's not asking for a Team of the Year selection at half forward, I'm not sure what does. Shane Gaston almost gave away a kicking in danger free kick there. Amory went in for the Rovers. Yellen picks it up for the Dogs, and they just got a bit of ascendancy here at the moment, a bit of control, and with foot skills like that from Andrews, you wonder why. Finds Baker at half forward, wants to play on straight away, finds Matty Wilson, and he marks on a very tight angle here, but I reckon he's got the right boot. He'll line up from probably 50 metres out on a pretty tight angle, favouring our broadcast side.
You can take this all the way back to Jack Yellen's handball in the back, just in the back square to find Liam Andrews in a bit of space to set it all up.
So Matt Wilson already got one goal, starts his approach. Has it got the distance? It does. The Dogs have got 4 in a row, playing with confidence. They now lead by 3 goals. A wonderful finish from Matt Wilson, and he now has got his second, a steal line goal today.
Yeah, really good game so far, being put together by Matt Wilson. He's up to the 9 disposals in this game and kicked the 2 goals as well. He's been really dangerous for the Dogs in this game. And in this quarter, it's been Angus Baker that's the one that's been flicked the switch. He's up to 6 disposals. He's been in everything. Jack Yellen, as we touched on there, just a beautiful hand pass to Liam Andrews in a bit of space to be able to set up that goal. And just really, really good play. They've got full of momentum at the moment. The Dogs got to see if the Rovers can grab it back.
Yeah, 4 in succession, 4 of the last 5. They've come to play, the Bulldogs. At WJ Finlay, this is a great start. And then Yelland out of the middle, quickly on the boot, following after it. On the second attempt, scoops it up, sent it in the direction of Henderson. Henderson under pressure, and then quickly got it away. Jet Cassidy, though, comes away for the Bulldogs and then gets the handball over the top to Yelland. Quick hands to Mathy. Gaston after him, brought down Yelland. Working hard for the Doggies. Jet Cassidy, he's been good in the first half of this footy game and sends it in. Johnson got a bite of it, put it to ground. Chamberlain goes back. Ground level now. Spiteri got spun around. Paddy Murray for the Rovers mopping up. And then McNamara under a ton of pressure. Gets it off to Paddy Murray. And then scoops a nice little sort of around the body kick to his brother in Sam Murray.
You can see the Wodonga Bulldogs are hunting in packs here. Their pressure rating would be through the roof. They're applying some real heat at the moment on a Wangaratta Rovers defence under some real pressure. Comes to the way of Ledger, who just kicks it on the boot down the wing. Cohen Ainsworth in a one-on-one up against Tom Boyd. Boyd just grabbed his jumper. The umpire said play on. Good call there. Tom Boyd found a hand pass to Amory, and he's brought down in a big tackle. Great work there by Gabe Crothers in the end. It was brilliant stuff. Wins the free kick. Here's Andrews at half back. Beautiful kick up to half forward. Finds Tommy Johnson on centre wing. The Dogs with momentum. They lead by 3 goals.
Here goes Johnson. Low ball whistle. Now it's against Elijah Amory. It's a 50. Oh, freaky.
Yeah, just coming into the restricted area there.
Oh.
It's a penalty that I really don't like in a game. I just don't think that the crime meets the punishment. But it is within the rules and just encroaching. It's not a very big 50 by the looks of... Oh, no, sorry, I was looking at the wrong umpire then. Look, I thought he was only taking it about 25 metres.
Yeah.
I didn't see the other umpire further up. So, no, it's going to be... Hopefully, Tommy put this one through for the Dogs and give them a nice little break in the game.
Yeah, it certainly would. Gee, this would be 5 in a row. 5 in a row for the Doggies. They'll be back in town if they win today at WJ Finlay, I tell you what. And Tom Johnson drills it through and he pumps them up. The maroon and white, 40, plays 16 on the CMB Truck and Bus scoreboard. Macca's time clock has gone over 17 minutes here, second term. We'll go back to you, Freaky.
I think Panda hit the nail on the head before. Just their intensity and their contest around the footy has really lifted in this second quarter, and I think that's been the difference in being able to get a momentum. I think the play right in front of us here, that just before that 50-metre penalty was with Tom Boyd taking on Gabe Crothers and a couple other younger Bulldogs defenders and being able to just really nullify him and just bring him to ground, where we've seen at times Boyd's been able to break through that and get to the other end of the ground and push forward to kick on the end of the goal and get in the goals. And I think that the back half of the Dogs is really starting to get ascendancy. Alex Markley's really rarely been cited so far in today's game, and he's somebody that the Rovers need up and about if they're going to be a chance to win this.
This is a round 4 or 5 effort and showing we are seeing from the Wodonga Bulldogs at the moment when they're at their best. It's a pretty simple equation for the Wodonga Bulldogs. Win and they will play finals for the first time since 2009. It'll mean so much to their supporters. A lot of them watching on the live stream, listening on 3&E. Right now they are on top. Over to you, Wangaratta Rovers. 60 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Nearing 19 minutes gone in this second term. Philo under pressure. Look at them hunting out there, the Dogs. Cade Brown up against Ledger there. In fact, it was Henderson. He went in there. Brown did really well, fighting hard. Mathy just squeezes a kick out here. It's all Rovers, though. It's centre wing. Garish goes in there. Wins it at ground level. His hand pass was straight to a maroon jumper. It was Bradshaw who goes on the boot looking for Wilding. McQuaid has him for measure. Wilding fires it off to Bradshaw, able to get around Will Nolan, lowers the eyes, just hits the deck in front of Tom Johnson, who's gone forward. McQuaid just hand passes it back to Murray, who finds Gaston, a true centre-half back. Played on when he probably shouldn't have, Lukey.
Yeah, put Garish under a ton of pressure. And then coming in for the Bulldogs and having a shot at goal was Ainsworth, and that one has missed for one behind. Oh, Bulldogs, I tell you what, they're on this afternoon. They have got their heads in the game. Nolan in the back pocket for the Rovers. They've really got to get it together at the moment. They need the next goal. If you just tuned in and wondering where Jordan Taylor is, the coach of the Bulldogs, did his hammy in the first term. Had a shot to the netball court end about 30 out and pinged his hamstring straight away. So he's on the bench. Jorgensen comes back towards Bradshaw. And then Markley got a hand to it. Bradshaw tried to get one out the back. Who's coming at this? That's Sam Jewell. Off to Garish, who just fumbled at a crucial stage. Baker now puts it on the boot, sends it down towards the kitching area. Bounces over the top of Yelland. Then going back, McQuaid, who's been good. And a right foot high ball coming out of defence.
Yeah, Andrews has been good as well. The late in from the Wodonga Bulldogs. Jack O'Sullivan out of the lineup. Spinning out of trouble there. McNamara fired it out here to Cam Chamberlain, and his hand pass put his teammate under a lot of pressure. There's a free kick here and a whistle. I think it's against Charles Ledger for a high one. He didn't have the football. Was it a knee to the head of Kitching? It looked a strange one, but Mason Ring has found a free kick here to the Dogs, and Kitching will line up from a tight angle. Probably 20 metres on a slight angle here, Freaky.
I can only think maybe it was for Sam Murray just take off maybe a high fend off potentially, but it was hard to see because there were a few bodies in the way from my position here, Panda. I couldn't really see clearly. They're only just trying to process what might have been as he plays on to Spiteri.
Oh, no.
That's just poor marking from the Wangaratta Rovers. Just left him in much easier shot now. It's, what would you say, Lukey, about 25 metres out, pretty straight in front?
Yeah, Freaky. Gee, that was bad, Panda. It wasn't a good look for the Rovers.
No, it wasn't. So there was a free kick. We're not sure what for to Kitching. And he's found Noah Spiteri. And this is for the 6th goal in a row for the Wodonga Bulldogs. And the margin would be out to 31 points. He comes in and he hooks it badly. A let-off for the Wangaratta Rovers. The Dogs 6-42. The Rovers 2-4-16 on our CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. 21 minutes played on the Macca's time clock. Second quarter action for Wangaratta Motor Group. As Sam Murray brings it out of defence for the Rovers.
Yes, Spiteri could have really made the Rovers pay there. He lets them off. Here comes Satori. And scoops it up off the deck. And then tried to get it to McCarthy. In close. Player stack on. Just down in front of the grandstand here, in front of the balcony. The umpire's going to call for it. Let's have a look here. So 42 plays 16 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. The Bulldogs up. Spiteri got spun around. Sir Jorgensen, kick smothered by Alex McCarthy. Mark Clue. Morrison's got in quickly. Comes out of the pack. Bolsh got taken high. Jorgensen brings him down. And Bolsh, well, good work. That's very disciplined. He knows he'll get the ball here, Freaky, so that was nice from him.
Yeah, actually,
or is he going to
get a throw ball in here? I think he might have. The umpire might have thought he went to ground a little bit easy there.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Big old pipes. Noah Spiteri went over there to throw his weight around. Wet rag would weigh more than Noah to try and throw some weight around.
Wet rag.
And more like toothpicks, I think. Tossed back in by the boundary umpire here. 42 plays 16. All maroon and white in this second quarter. They've kicked the only 4 goals, 5 in a row, to take a 26-point lead. Reece Venturoni has it at half-back. Goes short to Angus Baker. Freaky, the Wodonga Bulldogs wearing pink armbands today for a reason as well.
Yeah, I believe it's a netballer's mother that passed away of breast cancer 12 months ago, I think it was. Pandy, just as a bit of a recognition and to get a bit of support around the family and just show a bit of awareness as well of breast cancer research as well.
Well done to the Wodonga Bulldogs, great family club. And this is Kitching, who's been in everything today, Harry Kitching, on centre wing. Kicks it to half forward, broadcast side. Big Ibis Murray comes over the top and says, let's just punch it out of there and reset here for the Rovers. Not kicking a goal in this second quarter. Their last goal was from Tom Boyd at the 8.5-minute mark of the opening term. They led by a point at quarter time. And Lukey Francis at the 23rd minute mark of the second quarter for Wang Motor Group. They now trail by 26.
Yeah, that's right, Panda. And the Bulldogs haven't played for 21 days, so they come off a double bye. General bye and then the club bye, and that's gone through for one behind there at the Evans Street end. They won their first 4 games of the season and then lost 6 of the next 8. And we all knew if they could win today, they'd be back on track and back in a big way. Well, at the moment, they've got a good break. Here goes Sam Murray, fullback position, Evans Street end. And he goes short to Philo, who had to come back to meet it. Josh Mathy mans the mark, off to Sam Murray. He really wants to turn something on here. On the boot, down towards centre wing. Sam Gillen, Toby Murray sit under it. Toby Murray's second attempt takes it in and then gets it on the boot. Now, this is to the advantage of Boyd. Fairway from home. Crothers right on his hammer. Boyd, high, centre and kick going back. Morrison sits under it. And then went to deck. Mark Clue gets it out to Shut. This really has to go through for the Rovers. Cody, good tackle and pressure, bringing him to ground. That was Mitch Deneen, and the ball's gone through for one behind. So 43 plays 17. CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Macca's time clock has gone close to 25 here as we work up towards the halftime break.
Probably in 2 minds then, Cody Shutt, when he was running into that goal, didn't know whether to pass it inboard or have the shot and was just tackled as he tried to kick it. Probably an opportunity to go on begging for the Rovers.
Very light rain falling here at the WJ Finlay Oval. It's a slight drizzle. I reckon it's been falling for about 5 or 10 minutes. Mitch Deneen plays it safe down the boundary line. Tommy Johnson flies high at ground level. Mathy roved it really well. Snapped it on the boot to centre wing. Bounces in front of Will Nolan here, who intercepts for the Rovers. Kick just had enough on it over Tommy Johnson. Garish marks it too far out to score. Kicks it to the hot spot at the back. Prime train. 1, 2, 3 juggles. Not able to bring it in. Boyd at ground level did really well. Fires it back to the fella on debut. Zach Satori. A wonderful goal in a moment in that young man's career. A steel line goal today and just the one that the Wangaratta Rovers wanted. What a goal from Zach Satori.
Yeah, really good snap there. Outside of the boot, just snuck it in there. Beautiful goal, and really good for him to get a goal on debut as well. But really good work for the Wangaratta Rovers. Finally got some ball in their forward half. They've only had 6 inside 50s in this second quarter compared to the Wodonga Bulldogs, who've had the 12 forward entries in this term. So they've been able to finally get a couple of repeat entries. The previous shot a goal from Cody Shutt as well, and then that ball there from Jack Garish, the hot spot. And then Satori, is all good young, as small fellas do, at the right place at the right time to pop a goal through.
Yeah, Satori. So that breaks a run of 5 goals for the Wodonga Bulldogs. 43 plays 23 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Gone over 26 here, second term. Working towards a long break. Shut to Sature again. He's got his confidence up. Then a bouncing ball towards half forward. Morrison comes out to meet it for the Dogs to Johnson. Quick hands. Gets one to Andrews. Back to Johnson. Then fumble. Sature comes in right over the top of him. The umpire says in the back. Freaky, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it just
Little stiff?
I think you said it was over the shoulder. I think it was a bit stiff there, definitely, Lukey.
Ainsworth direction. It looks like he'll get the free kick now. Front on contact. And the ball slowly coming back to him. Matthew will give it to him. So here's Liam Ainsworth. He wants to steer one back to Andrews. Dogs have it, half back. Had a great half here, the Wodonga Footy Club. And then back to Matthew, left of centre wing, Panda on the far side.
Matthew's numbers, Brad Sprinkles freak.
He's up to 9 in this quarter, which takes him up to 13 for the game.
He's been super in and under. Angus Baker, what about his numbers?
He's coming up for his 9th of this quarter, which takes him to 14 for the game.
He's got the ball on centre wing. That rain maybe just gotten a tiny, tiny heavier. Just sleety here in Wangaratta. It's a cold winter's August day. Toby Murray at half-back. Always wants to come in board, and that siren ends a very impressive term for the Wodonga Bulldogs. In the end, it was 4-1. And after trailing by 1 point at quarter time, they now take a 20-point lead at half-time. 6-7-43 the Dogs over the Rovers. 3-5-23. Do not go anywhere. A half-time show on O&M Live on the other side of this. The Dogs, too good in the second term. Half-time, O&M Live. You won't miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
The WJ Finlay Oval for Harvey Norman betting. It's a 20-point lead to the Wodonga Bulldogs, 6-7-43 over the Wangaratta Rovers, 3-5-23. Blake Pandaresca with you, Luke Francis, Brad Freak to dissect this first half from the WJ Finlay Oval. Recapping some of the goal kickers, 2 for Matty Wilson, singles to Jet Cassidy, Adam Jorgensen, Tommy Johnson and Geordie Taylor, who is now out of the game with a hamstring injury. And for the Wangaratta Rovers, Tom Boyd, Zach Satori on debut and Joel Smith. Freaky on our 40-wing stat sheet. It's been a very good half so far for the Wodonga Bulldogs, and we really saw their pressure come into fruition in that second term.
Yeah, just their intensity and their work around the contest really lifted in that second quarter, and they were able to get the 4-1 in that second term and give them out to this really good lead now that they've got. We can see in the team stats that the inside 50s, they completely dominated. They 2-1 in favour of the Dogs compared to the Rovers, 12 for the Bulldogs, 6 for the Rovers in that second quarter, and just were able to get some repeat entries. The only time the Rovers were able to get repeat entries in that quarter ended up being in that Satori goal. So you can just see the value of being able to get the ball in your forward half and being able to lock it in there and keep getting the ball in the forward half in their quarter. The natives could be a little bit restless here at half time with the umpiring favouring the Dogs at this stage. I had 11 free kicks for the Dogs to 3 for the Rovers.
They've all probably been there.
Most of them have been there as well, yeah, definitely. So you never know what the natives could be a bit like here down here at the Rovers ground. So if we have a look at the possessional stats, we've got Sam Murray, as always, he's leading our total stat getter on the day. He's up to 17 disposals. Brodie Filo's had the 15, 13 for Jack Garish, 10 for Alex McCarthy for the Wangaratta Rovers side of things. And on the Wodonga Bulldogs side of things, again, Angus Baker to be expected. He's up to the 14 disposals, and his partner in crime, Josh Matthews, had the 13 disposals and 9 to Matt Wilson, who's also kicked those 2 goals as well in their first half.
And as I said, Lukey and Freaky, off the top, I think the difference in that second quarter and where the Dogs were able to get control of the game was their pressure around the ball. I thought Yellen was fantastic in the clinches. Mathy, Baker, they all got their hands on the footy. Their pressure to lock it inside forward 50, I think really put the Rovers' defence under a fair bit of pressure.
Yeah, absolutely, Panda. They just forced so many mistakes, the Bulldogs, and the Rovers, they were just in the Rovers' face, and they didn't like it at all. They gave away a couple of silly free kicks, the Rovers, that they didn't have to, and I reckon they're on their nerves at the moment. They're just sort of frustrating the Wang Rovers, and the Bulldogs have pulled away to a nice, handy lead at half-time, 43-23.
And just that pressure and just getting in their faces, it can, as you say, look, it does look like it's unsettled the Rovers a little bit.
Yeah, they're just frustrated.
And also, I think the conditions probably isn't best suited to the style that the Rovers want to play as well. We obviously know when it's dry and fast, they're one of the best teams in the competition to watch, and they, for very good reason, because they are great ball users as well. But I think that the whole defensive scheme from the Dogs today has been really, really strong. You think of Boyd and Mark Liu as the 2 main threats. They really haven't had a lot of impact on this game at all at the moment. And I think if that's to change, then they're going to have to. The midfield for the Rovers is obviously working hard. As we say, Filo's had the 15 disposals, 13 for Jack Garish. Cody Shutt got going in that second quarter at 6 disposals. So the midfield's getting plenty of footy for him. It's just getting the ball moving forward. And Toby Murray is pretty much having his way really in the ruck, but the Dogs are being better on the ground, as you touched on, Panda. The likes of Yelland, Mathy, these type of guys. Even Tommy Johnson as the ruckman, when the ball hits the ground, he's throwing his body around and getting impact in the contest. And it's really, really looking like it is unsettling the Rovers at the moment.
Yeah, they're hustling, aren't they? They're hustling, and their second and third efforts have been very good.
And if you're just joining us as well, big story in this game early on was Geordie Taylor. He won an off-the-ball free kick for an incident that we're not really too sure about. He went back 30 metres out directly in front, had a set shot on goal. He hit the post, but came hobbling from the ground with what we suspect is a pretty bad hamstring injury.
Yeah, well, he's at the quarter time huddle. He had the polo shirt on and ice on the leg. Cold day to be putting ice on, by the way. So it's not a good day to do your hammy. But yeah,
Is it ever a good day to do your hammy?
I wouldn't have thought so.
It's not ideal though. Out of all the days you could pick.
No, definitely not. But it's really unfortunate for Geordie Taylor. Obviously, I'm not too sure. Obviously, he's not going around as coach. I'm not sure if he's locked in to be a player or not. It potentially could have been the last time we've seen him run out in Wodonga Bulldogs colours if he isn't going around again next year as a player. So it's truly an unfortunate way for that to happen if it is, but it probably sums up his time as a player for the Dogs a little bit, not being able to get on the park, which is really unfortunate for himself and for the club as well, because he's a quality player.
And saying that, the couple of laid outs to both sides, Dylan Stone laid out for the Wangaratta Rovers, replaced by Sam Henderson. That's hurt their run big time. And not a great day, obviously, for that outside game anyway, but they're definitely missing him. But the in for the Wodonga Bulldogs has been Liam Andrews, Jack O'Sullivan out, so a like for like in a way. We know O'Sullivan's a really good interceptor. And he's as tough as nails, but I think Andrew's ball skills.
He's done a couple of good things, hasn't he?
Fantastic. And, last played against the North Albury Hoppers, I think, where he was concussed, and he's come into the lineup today, and I think he's had a real impact with his foot skills at half back.
But it's a really good sign for the Dogs to be able to have depth like that going on when you have when you have one of your prime defensive keys. Luke, you go out of the game before the game even starts, and then you have to bring in someone like Liam Andrews who has played a fair bit of seniors footy. Obviously, found himself outside of the team at the moment, but I think his first half has been really strong. As Panda said, his ball use has been really good and set up plenty of play for him across the half back.
Yeah, he's good size too, isn't he? And he's a genuine goer. I think he's been great. He was particularly good down this end of the ground. And, I think he's going a long way as to keeping his spot in this team.
Jet Cassidy has had a really good first half as well. He's in a couple of big
been
contests.
Very lively.
Yeah, in a couple of big contests down in the goal square. He's taken some one-on-one marks, Freaky, and pity for him not to finish some really good work in the first quarter, but he's been a lively type.
His body work's what's impressed me. He's obviously quite a light frame at this stage because I think he's only about 17 or 18 years old, so there's not a lot of him, but just the smarts to be able to use his body, and some of the kicking to him in those times has been really good as well. Kicked to his advantage, been able to just nudge his opponent under the footy and just give himself the fall of the ball and set him up. He probably should have 2 goals. The one down in the first quarter at the commentary and he probably should have hit that one. Obviously, just hit the inside of the post, but no, he's looking very lively for him, and he's obviously getting up the ground as well and getting amongst the play a little bit too.
Around the grounds as well in the other SSNA Ovens and Murray games. So much riding on every single one of these round 16 games at the moment. The Albury Tigers 10-2-62 over the Wodonga Raiders 1-4-10. So Albury doing it comfortably there, as are the Wangaratta Magpies. I know our 3A listeners would be very keen about that. Wangaratta 9-10-64 over Lavington 3-5-23. Cal Moore has the 6 goals and a half. So he came off 11 last week. We know that with the Wangaratta Magpies having a bye in the last round, things are going to get tight between him and Big Leroy. So Cal Moore doing wonderful things there, and a very tight game as well. The McNamara Reserve for our listeners on 3&E. We got the FM transmitter there in Myrtleford, North Albury, 8-1-49, 8-1. So very accurate goal kicking over Myrtleford, 6-5-41. So obviously lots of Wodonga eyes on that game as well, Lukey Francis.
Yeah, that's right, Panda. But geez, Cal Moore, he is just absolute dynamite, isn't he? He's such an explosive athlete. You know where I reckon he would absolutely tear it apart? In the boxing ring. I just reckon he's that real...
In the UFC ring, I reckon.
Yeah, I just reckon he's that real thick-set, sort of explosive athlete. And I reckon if you put him on the bag with a set of mitts, I reckon, look out.
Get out of the way of a couple of dancing right hooks, Luke.
That's it. That's right.
How would you go in the boxing ring?
No good.
No good?
Yeah, no good.
Yeah, you're always at the House of Pain.
I'm always at the House of Pain. Yeah, no, like Cal Moore, I'm a sort of explosive, sort of powerful athlete as well.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know how I'd go with the gloves.
I reckon
it'd be pretty embarrassing.
I reckon you'd land a few on Freaky, and I don't worry about that.
No.
Yeah.
But do you think so? Like, he's that type of bloke, do you reckon?
Yeah, he certainly is. He's. I reckon he could do anything he put his mind to. Cal Moore, he's that sort of athlete. Repeating the halftime score here. The Wangaratta Rovers 3-5-23, trailing the Wodonga Bulldogs 6-7-43. So it's a 20-point lead to the Wodonga Bulldogs. Brad Sprinkles, Freak?
Yeah, if we just have obviously the A-grade netball, the Ray White Rule netball update as well from earlier today that concluded obviously one big upset in that game today in the netball today. Obviously North Albury getting the job done over the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, 51 goals to 46 in that one, which is a bit of an upset and probably put Myrtleford's top three hopes to nearly bed, I would say, with obviously been a couple of games out of that third position. In the other games, Wodonga Raiders only just getting over the line against the Albury Tigers, 45 to 43 goals in that game. The game here at the WJ Finlay Oval between the Wodonga Bulldogs and the Rovers went to the Dogs, 48 to 45, and the Lavington Panthers too strong for the Wangaratta Magpies up there at the Lavy Sports Ground, 39 to 36.
Let's take a break. Half-time done and dusted for Harvey Norman betting. Both sides not out on the ground yet. Neither of the umpires as well. On the other side of this, the third term for STY medals here on R&M Live. It's the Rovers 23, the Dogs 43, and on R&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Sides are going to their positions here. Half-time done and dusted at the WJ Finlay Oval, and the Wodonga Bulldogs will want plenty more of where that came from in this second half if they're to run away with a very important victory here in round 16. They currently lead 6-7-43 over the Wangaratta Rovers 3-5-23. Blake Penderescott with you, Lukey Francis, Brad Sprinkles, Freak. As we said there, Freaky, the Wodonga Bulldogs and Geordie Taylor, the message must have been at halftime more of the same. Bring that heat defensively.
Yeah, that'll be the key for the Dogs. We saw in that first quarter when they didn't bring it, the Rovers were able to get away a little bit, and that's what they're going to be. Probably a very similar message for the Rovers.
Third quarter underway for STY Metals. Here is Lukey Francis.
Yeah, here we go, Panda. 20-point lead to the Doggies. Garish comes in off the wing, just went straight over it. Yellen, then Johnson spits it out to Baker. Baker on the right foot and then sends it down towards inside 50 at the netball court end. Murray ends up with it and just palms off Matt Wilson. Over the top to Chamberlain. Chamberlain short one. And Garish takes the mark, plays on quickly to Sam Murray. That was good footy. A short one over the top. Finds Tubby Murray and back to Sam Murray, and the Rovers are away.
Yeah, Sam Murray, beautiful chain there down the far side, showground side, kicks inside forward 50. Justin Lewis is dangerous in this position. Prime trains in the area. Soccer effort from Alex Marklew has rolled through, not like Mary Fowler and the crew from the Matildas. It's through for a minor score from Al Marklew. They got out the back there pretty easily, and that's when the Rovers are at their best in transition football. A minor score, the first one of this third term. 24 plays 43 on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard.
Didn't see many times in that first half where they were able to get repeat chains like that in the Rovers in the first half, so they want more of that to come in this second half.
Yeah, quarter-final, hey? Suncorp Stadium at 5 p.m. today. The Matildas up against France. So not far away now. Ball out of bounds here, left of centre wing, far side. 43 plays 24. Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. Bulldogs up. Early stages, third term. So the boundary umpire has it. Far side here. Brad Freak, Blake Escott and Luke Francis with you. On O&M Live, 15-6-3-E, round 16 of 18. Wang Rovers, 8-5, sitting in fourth spot. Wodonga Bulldogs, 7-6 in fifth position. Mayfield with it. He's about 70 out from home. Wants to square it. No one on Wilson. Matt, he's playing a good game today in the blue boots. Man on the mark, right on the 50 arc. Here goes Wilson, winds up, driving kick to the goal square. Cassidy off his chest. McQuaid swings around for the Rovers, brought down, gone. Holding the ball. Now, as we know, Jet Cassidy had a shot, Panda, in the first half from a similar spot, and he blew it. He needs to nail this one.
Exact same replica, wasn't it, Freaky? This is exactly the same spot.
You couldn't parallel, mate. It looks like he's going to go with the drop punt. Obviously, he had a shot at in the second quarter from a similar angle and with the drop punt and put it straight through the middle. So hopefully for the Dogs' point of view, he can get this one through as well and get off to the perfect start in this second half.
Yeah, so hopefully not a case of deja vu here for Jet. Let's have a look. Has he got that one? He sure has. That one's perfect for Jet Cassidy. A double for him. So 49 plays 24. The all-important first goal of the second half here for the Bulldogs. And the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard, Macca's time clock, has gone 2 minutes, Freaky.
There was really good play from Jet Cassidy. Obviously, the kick came in from Matt Wilson, just really well defended as well from his opponent from the Rovers, but then didn't drop his head, didn't lose his feet, followed up and did later a really strong tackle to get a holding the ball decision there for the Dogs in a goal-kicking position. So perfect start for them. And there was that pressure in the second quarter particularly, which really swung the game into the momentum into the Bulldogs' side. So really strong start for them in this second half.
And a couple of their important players combining there. Matt Wilson, he's kicked the 2 goals. He was the one that set it up with a great kick there towards Jet Cassidy and a great defensive tackle. And now he's got 2. More importantly for the Dogs, it's a 25-point lead as the Rovers go inside forward 50. Good fist there from Deneen up against Gaston. Punches it over the boundary line for a throw in. Probably 55 metres out from the Wangaratta Rovers goal. Still no goals to Al Marklew or the prime train in this game as well. So the Dogs' defence doing wonderful work here. And only the 1 goal to Tom Boyd as well, way back at the 8.5-minute mark of the first term. Gaston winning the tap down. McCarthy squeezing a kick out. No one home though. taking a great mark. The captain, Charlie Morrison, for the Dogs. Goes out wide to the running man, Sorochinski. He wants to take a bounce. Kicks down the line. Beautiful kick as well, finding Cohen Ainsworth on centre wing for the Dogs.
Ainsworth short, and then off the chest of Wilding. McQuaid through Paddy Murray's hands. Jet Cassidy goes again, scoops it up for the Doggies, try to get it to Wilding, and then thought he caught one high. Umpire said play on, and he's going to call for it. The man in green, 49 playing 24. Doggies up. Third term. Letting possession get a freaky for each term. Each team, I should say, thanks to 40 Wings.
Sammy Murray up for 20 for the Rovers and 15 for Angus Baker for the Bulldogs, to be expected from those two.
Sharp shifts it down the line through Gaston's hands. This is Deneen. Ground level. Elijah Amory tried to get one out to Gerish. Second attempt. He was tackled over the ball. Second attempt again, brought to his chest, and the umpire again is going to call for a Blake Escott.
Luke Francis, Blake Escott, Brad Freak for the Old Town and Country Tavern. Good spot. We've got a good sports bar to go and watch the Matildas at in about an hour and a half's time. Ball still at ground level on the showground side of the WJ Finlay. That was a great hand pass. And look at the dash here from Sorochinski, the man from Narry Warren. Goes inside forward 50 here for the Dogs. It's a one-on-one between McNamara and Cassidy. McNamara does really well, exceptionally well. A Mawson's concrete player that day to banana it defensively and find Toby Murray in his own defensive 50, who has an opportunity just to take a little bit of time off the clock here, the big Ibis. His kick was looking for Lewis, but taking a wonderful mark there for the Dogs was Jorgensen. Called to play on, goes back into the pocket. Wilding on the chest. A pinpoint pass from Jorgensen. Oscar Wilding will line up for goal number 1 today. 45 metres out in a pretty tight angle.
Really good mark, intercepting mark there from Adam Jorgensen. Such a small fella, been able to take the juggle mark, called to play on, and then beautiful delivery. Actually made Oscar Wilding run into the space. He wasn't leading there, but forced him to get into the space and set up this shot at goal.
Kick to goal in all bar one game this year. 35 for the year. 4th in the Doug Strang, and he's made... not a good effort of this one. Through for a minor score. The first shot on goal there from Oscar Wilding. And the Dogs, they go to 50. The Rovers, 24. It's a 26-point margin on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. We've played around 7 minutes, Lukey, because I was a bit slack in starting that Macca's time clock.
Great work, Panda. Now Murray got it to follow back to Murray. Slides, regains his footing, and then just goes with a long torpy out to the broadcast side here to Toby, who takes the mark in front of Sam Jewell. So let's have a look what Toby's got ahead of him. He's going to go with the long dump kick down the line here. Be a strong contest. Over the back, here's Johnson. Had a good first half. Boyd on his hammer. Ball out of bounds. Yeah, we saw earlier, just a few moments ago, Freaky, that entry from Jorgensen just dictated the league. Gee, he's got fantastic foot skills.
Yeah, he does. He uses the ball so well, and that's what makes him such a good player. But you want really good ball users in the middle of the ground. The Dogs have got a few of them, and they've been using the ball well today.
8 played Macca's time clock, and a beautiful tap over the back from Toby Murray. The Rovers go inside 50 through Marklew. Sorry, that was Brodie Philo. He's found Alex Marklew. The Dogs wanted holding the ball back here on centre wing. Brodie played on, and Marklew, the first bit of space he's found all day, will go back from 45 metres out, 45-degree angle.
Yeah, probably about his first or second shot for the day. He's had one other shot for a behind today as well. So probably the first set shot that he's had, and the Rovers desperately need this one to get themselves back into the game.
So Al Marklew, he's kicked 41 goals this year. That's 42, and just what the Rovers need. Alex Marklew kicking goals, and he brings the margin now back to 20 points. 30 plays 50 on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. We have played 8 minutes of the Macca's time clock.
Be a really dangerous period entering now for the Wodonga Bulldogs. The Rovers are one side that when they do get their tail up, they can score heavily, and they're really a momentum-based side. So once they get their tails up and they can get going, they are hard to stop. We saw this last week against Albury through a period of, I think they kicked 10 out of 11 goals in that game, or 9 out of 11 goals and 1 point in that game. So if they get their tails up, the Rovers, they can really put it on top of the other opposition.
Brad Freak with us for O&M Live, doing a great job each and every week. Back to 20 points. The Bulldogs lead by last goal to Alex Marklew. Here's Morrison. Handballs out the back. And a fist by Liam Andrews. And Bulldogs go for a Gaston. Was able to pull down Ainsworth there, just right of the interchange gates, and the boundary umpire is going to throw it in. Okay crowd here at WJ Finlay. Not a massive crowd, Panda. Not a massive crowd today, but it is pretty cool here.
Pretty miserable.
It is.
To say
McCarthy,
the least.
that's right. And everyone's got an excuse getting ready for the Matildas. But firstly, let's see who can sort out this round 16 contest between the Hawks and the Bulldogs. Mark Clue spun out of trouble, was able to swing towards goal. Tapped on the line for one behind. He was shooting for his second in succession. Wasn't to be. Bulldogs defence hustling back there. And at the moment, the margin is now 19 points.
Did all the hard work there, Alex Marklew. He just didn't sink his slipper into it enough and get enough distance. So through for a minor score, and it's 50 plays 31 on the Harvey Norman betting. We've played 10 minutes on the Macca's time clock. Third quarter action for the crew at STY Metals, and the Dogs want to switch the footy. They do that effectively. They got Jet Cassidy screaming for it here on centre wing. A horrible kick from Reece Venturoni. He's turned it over as well. Alex McCarthy drilling it inside 50, finding Justin Lewis. Probably too far out to score. Hands it off to Gerish. He had to get around one. Back to Justin Lewis. Standing start from 40. Kicks it goal bound. Prime train with a Mawson's Concrete. No, it's Al Marklew, is it? It's Marklew. A Mawson's Concrete mark of the day. He's brought it down. And Marklew will go back. Very tight angle to kick two in the last couple of minutes for the Rovers.
Can take this all back to Shane Gaston, just doing the basics, manning the mark and not allowing Venturoni to reel around and hit Jet Cassidy.
Marklew's nailed it, Brad Freak. He's nailed a beautiful banana. And Al Marklew's come to life, and so have the Rovers. The last two goals, both to Al Marklew, and now the margin's back to 13 points, Freaky.
Yeah, it certainly is. And as we touched on, the Rovers are a team that can get a momentum and get the momentum on. But as we were saying, it's Shane Gaston just doing the basics well. They're not letting Venturoni play on quickly, getting out to Jet Cassidy, who just come onto the ground from the interchange bench. He was in a paddock of space, but made him go through the middle, turn the ball over, and are able to go down the other end and get the goal through Marklew. He's second in the matter of minutes as well. So this is what we talked about with the Rovers. When they get their tails up, they're hard to stop.
3 of the last 4 goals, Lukey Francis for the Old Town and Country Tavern.
Back in the middle, third turn. Let's have a look. Jewel and also Toby Murray. Ball to ground level. Matey tears in for the Bulldogs. Quickly on the boot. Got smothered. And the ball rolls towards Matt Wilson. Spins out of trouble and sends it out the back to Jorgensen. Let's have a look at the foot skills here. Loads up. Goes for home. Long kick. Wielding at the back. Oh, well done, McQuaid. Getting back in the nick of time. And just fisting it across the line. So 51 plays 37. Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. Third term. We've got 11 minutes here. It's brought to us by STY Metals. Here's Blake Escott for the Old Town and Country Tavern.
Wonderful work from Lukey Francis. All thanks to STY Metals here on O&M Live. Brad Freak as well for Waters. Marklew, he's come to life here at ground level. Charlie Morrison has him. Matthew as well. He's going to get pinged holding the ball here. Bang. Holding the ball, and another free kick here to the Wangaratta Rovers against Josh Matthew for holding the ball. Alex Marklew has it at half-back. Long way from home. Kicks toward Ibis Murray. Not able to juggle a mark, but he's effective at ground level. Well done there from the dual stick going in hard, and he's been brought to ground, and we've got a ball up just to the left of the centre circle. Showgrounds side of the WJ Finlay Oval. 14-point margin to the Dogs. Brad Freak for Waters.
You can tell that Alex Markley's a bit up and about now. He loves getting up the ground and using that leg speed coming back towards the goal. I think that's a good setup for the Rovers. Having Boyd and they've got Gaston and the prime train inside the forward 50, and you get Markley at the ground and using his leg speed back towards goals.
Whistle here. Now this ball's going the way of the Bulldogs. Jorgensen's going to get it. Right of centre wing here, far side. Goes quickly. 30-metre kick down the line. Finds Yelland. Long way from home. 80 out. Squaring kick to Spiteri. So they've lost a bit of ground there. Not all that much, though. Now they go forward. Just to the arc of the 50. McQuaid, geez, been handy today. Then off to Murray. Murray fakes the handball around Josh Matey, then wants to come broadcast side. His shot's going to have to go. Try to get it off the ground. Wilson's hot in his hammer. Well done, Matt Wilson. Won it back for his Bulldogs. Handballs over the top to Baker. Baker inside to Matey. Now Josh, he's 55 out. What can they set up here? Pops it into Baker. Oh, well done. Getting back there. Paddy Murray to wreck that kick going in. Oh, Brad Freak, that was wonderful work from Paddy.
Yeah, it certainly was. Just to come across from Angus Baker there, he was running back into space and just spoil it out of bounds. It was really, really good play there because it would have been a pretty easy shot for Angus Baker to have shot a goal.
51 plays 37 on the Harvey Norman betting third quarter scoreboard. 13 minutes played, Macca's time clock, and toss back into a dangerous position inside forward 50 for the Dogs. The hand pass came from Murray for the Rovers, or dropping it there was Henderson. We don't like the fumble. Matt Wilson wraps him up over the boundary line, and it's going to get tossed back into play. Still 60 around from the Wodonga Bulldogs goal. And if you just joined us, Cassidy put the Dogs 25 up, the 3rd minute mark of this third quarter. Now Marklew has sprung the Rovers into action here with back-to-back goals. And the margin sits at 14. Jorgensen brought down by Will Nolan. We've got another ball up right in front of our commentary position here at the WJ Finlay Oval. 60 out from the Dogs goal. Mason Ring's going to toss this one up, Lukey Francis, for the Old Town and Country Tavern.
Here we go, Panda. Wilson onto this. He's been prominent today for his Bulldogs. Lewis did well to Elijah Wamery, quickly on the boot here, rolling balls towards centre wing. Morrison, clever tap to Sam Murray. Jewel, I should say, out the back now to Ollie Greenhill. Try to get Liam Andrews. Mark Clue just reeled it in. Now Bolsh is running back. Mark Clue goes with a wild old kick. He tried to get onto a torpy. Good mark. Back in defence. Getting back for the Bulldogs as they move it on was Ollie Greenhill on their away, Panda.
They are. Wonderful mark from Greenhill and a good kick up towards half forward from Brown, but not good enough for Sam Murray. Mawson's concrete mark of the day. Another wonderful intercept mark at half back. He goes out wide, showground side, finds Jack Garish. His number's Brad Freak.
He's coming up for his 16th of the day.
One of the best wingers in the comp. He kicks to half forward, looking for Shane Gaston, floating in there defensively, and taking a wonderful mark there was Ollie Greenhill. That's 2 in a minute for Ollie. The former captain, he's hard as nails. He's got it at half back. In fact, that was young Venturoni, I believe, in fact. So well done by young Reece Venturoni. He passes it off here to Tommy Johnson, who goes back to Venturoni just inside the centre square. Still at half back, wants to switch the footy. He hangs a long time in the air nervously to Liam Andrews. And he has it on our broadcast side. He kicks to half forward to Matt Wilson.
Toby Murray just winning the contest against Matt Wilson, squaring his centre half back. Dangerous kick here. Baker coming in, scoops it up. Off now to Noah Bradshaw. Bradshaw just pops it up inside 50 at the back. Was Yelland. Ball's gone to ground. Look at the players tearing in for the pill here. McQuaid's over it. Yelland's got him. Umpire just calls for it. Freaky. That was so close for Jace McQuaid.
Oh, it certainly was. But some of the defending on the last line and the intercept marking the last 5-10 minutes has been first class. We've seen Sam Murray at this end and Ollie Greenhill down at the other end. Just a beautiful display from both teams.
Still this 14-point lead for the Bulldogs. Off the ground by Matthew Wilson. Right foot goal. It's a goal to the Bulldogs. And they get away a little again, so 20 points the margin here. Harvey Norman betting scoreboard, third term on the Macca's time clock. We're going over 16 minutes, so that's a 3 goals now. Freaky, what do you got for us?
Yeah, Matt Wilson having a day out here for the Wodonga Bulldogs. He's kicked to 3 goals. He's up to the 13 disposals as well. Halfway through this third quarter, he's putting his name up in lights. He's been sensational for the Dogs today. It's just been a war of nutrition, getting the ball forward in this quarter. It hasn't really probably a bit similar to what we saw in the first quarter. Probably not real pretty football, but it's just about getting the momentum and moving the ball forward. It's really good fight back here from the Dogs, as we touched on. Alex Markley getting 2 quick goals for the Rovers, getting it back down to 13 points, but now back out to 20 points for the Dogs.
He's kicked 2 goals in the goal square. Both snaps, Matty Wilson. He's putting his name up in headlights here for our Watters player of the day. And just what the doctor ordered for the Dogs. An answering goal here after Al Marklew kicked a couple in a row for the Rovers. And it's back out to 20 points and another boundary throw-in on the far side of the ground here at the WJ Finlay. The showground side. We might go around the ground soon, Brad Sprinkles Freak. And the other SSNA Ovens and Murray games as well. Blake Panda Escott with you. Luke Francis, Brad Freak for the Old Town and Country Tavern. Played 17.5 STY medals as the Rovers go back inside forward 50. Prime train, not in front there. Sorochinsky did really well. Exits the fence and finds touch. Boundary throw in, centre wing. Brad Freak around the grounds for Harvey Norman betting.
Yeah, in the other games in the Ovens and Murray, an 8-point lead to North Albury, 61-53. A 37-point lead to the Wangaratta Magpies, 67-30. And the Albury Tigers, 88, lead the Wodonga Raiders, 24 at the Beer Lead Park.
Boundary throw in, right of the scoreboard on the far side here, a long way away from our commentary position. Got to say, though, it's a ripping spot here, our commentary box. And the great Manoj set it up the acoustics for us, Panda.
He did with the soundproofing.
Start of the year. Good job, Manoj.
He won't be listening.
Won't he?
No.
What will he be doing?
I'm not sure, Luke, but probably not watching this.
Okay. And Baker, cross half back. Smith, try to interrupt the play here. Ainsworth did nicely, got the handball off to Mathy. Great one-on-one win. And then down towards half forward. Jet Cassidy went back with the flight, picks it up on the second attempt, goes for home and pulls it to the left. And that one has gone out of bounds on the full. They still lead by 20 points, though. Third term, almost 19 gone. Macca's time clock.
Probably had a little bit more time than Cassidy than what he actually realised. Probably rushed the kick a little bit. A couple of the Rovers defenders fell over at the contest just at about 75 metres out, and he had a little bit more space. So a chance gone missing again for the Dogs there.
Murray's hand pass asked a lot of Brody Philo. Goes by hand to young Zach Satori on debut. Philo calmly switches the footy across defensive lines here. Jack Gerish taking the mark here for the Wangaratta Rovers, holding his width. On the showground side, kick to a one-on-one. Not a great kick, but it was a wonderful mark from Amory, who hand passed it to the guy who gave it to him. Jack Gerish fends off one, takes a bounce and pumps it long inside 50 for the Rovers. Coming hard there was Toby Murray. At ground level, the prime train gets a free kick for a high one. Oh, the Wodonga Bulldogs fans don't like that. Well done by the prime train. Put his head over the footy, Freaky, and exaggerated the contact a little bit, but it's there.
It was high every day of the week there. I don't know what the Wodonga supporters would be worried about too much. It was definitely there. So hasn't had a lot of impact in today's game, but again, he's another one that can get a bit of momentum in the game and get his name into the game. So they really need this one, the Rovers.
Coming off 4 goals last week. The prime train against the Albury Tigers. He'll kick from 45 metres out directly in front. It's got the distance. It's through for a steel line goal today from Tommy Bolsh, the prime train. And the margin's back to 14 points. 43 plays 57 on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. The Dogs still lead. We've played 21 minutes on the Macca's time clock. Third quarter for STY Metals.
It's probably been a few more passages in this third term, which are a little bit more what we're used to seeing from the Wangaratta Rovers. More of that run and pace. We saw Sam Murray early in the quarter, right at the start of the quarter. Jack Garish just then, but able to get a 1-2 there and use his leg speed to break the game open and able to get the ball forward quickly and get a one-on-one contest. And that's what they need, the Rovers. If they allow the Dogs to get back, that's when they get clogged up and they aren't able to hit the scoreboard as regular.
3 goals to the Rovers this quarter, 2 to the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs with the lead, though, 57-43. Bradshaw, centre wing, just forward of it. On the outer side, Ainsworth tried to take one on. The handball out to Crothers. In fact, it was Bradshaw, then back to Ainsworth. Came out the side, ends up with Philo now. Swings around and gets onto that right foot and then sends it into the centre of the ground there. And Mark Clue on the second chance knocks it on to Lewis. Justin gets out, forward entry inside 50. Good footy. Toby Murray couldn't reel it in.
Free kick.
Greenhill, yep. Well, there you go. So this is big. This is a big kick in the context of this footy game. So 57 playing 43. Toby Murray to have a shot, probably 25-30 out, directly in front, Evan Street and Brad Freak.
If he kicks this one, you go right back to Alex Markley. It's just his palm underneath, just to be able to get the ball out to Justin Lewis in a bit of space and give Toby Murray again a little bit of space in that forward half. And that's the thing for the Rovers. If they can get some space and some width in the ground, that's when they're looking at their most dangerous. When the Dogs congest it up, they aren't really getting anything in the game, so they just need that bit of space to get themselves right back into it.
Talented player. This would get it back to 8 points and the crowd would lift, and he's missed it. He's missed it, Toby. Okay, so it's one behind. 57 plays 44. Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. Third term brought to you by STY Metals. McDonald's time clock has gone over 22.
A big blow there for the Rovers. That would have brought the margin back to 8 points. Said it's 13 as Soroczynski worked so hard today. Oh, flying high with the Mawson's concrete mark of the day. A beautiful one there from Matty Wilson. He's already kicked 3 goals and now he's taking big marks. Goes inboard here and finds Venturoni, who's got it in the middle of the ground. Goes out wide. That's a nice kick as well, finding Yelland. He was prolific in the clinches in that second term. So Jack Yelland, 80 from home, outer side, called to play on. Kicks it into a pocket of players. Flying high, the dual stick. Off hands, Chamberlain did well. Hand pass it to Paddy Murray, who goes short to Brody Philo. Deep in defence for the Wangaratta Rovers, and he finds Shane Gaston. He's got runners out here. It's Joel Smith. The Dogs by 13, 57-44, third term.
Smith, half-back flank, gets it to Philo. Philo sends it down the line. Beautiful delivery. Look at that to Boyd. Now Bolsh is in a one-on-one here with Greenhill. Nice kick from Boyd. Bolsh has got it. The prime train here, 65-70 out from home. Evans Street end. He's very wide. Wants to go for a squaring kick. Oh, over the top of Satori. Ends up with Lewis. So the man on the mark, Tom Johnson, right on the 50 paint. Now, Lewis, has he got the legs, Freaky?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know from this far. He's looking around to maybe give a
Watch
handball.
for Sam Murray. Oh,
well done by Jet Cassidy. He was onto it. And great delivery by Lewis into Boyd.
Yeah, just really good play there. As we touched on, Shane Gaston got the ball on this half-back line and be able to get it out to Smith and just get some link play to Boyd and the prime train and then over into Lewis as well. As we keep touching on, if the Dogs allow the Rovers to have some space, it's going to spell bad news for them. If the Rovers can get space on the game and get some width and be able to move the ball quickly, I think they're going to be really damaging and they're going to come right back in this game. This is a massive kick for Tommy Boyd to get their side back under 10 points.
Oh, isn't it what? Gee, we've got a game on our hands now on O&M Live, 15-6-3-E. Here goes Boyd. This will be a goal, I reckon. Yes, Tommy's got it. A double for him. Pumps up the crowd here at WJ Finlay, and the Rovers come back. What a contest we have got, Brad Freak.
Yeah, on the 40-wing stat sheet in this third quarter, Brody Philo is the one. He's up to 9 disposals for the Wangaratta Rovers, 6 for Sam Murray, 5 for Jack Garish. And on the Wodonga Bulldogs side of things, Josh Mathy had 5, and Matt Wilson's had the 5 disposals as well. They've had more of the inside 50s in this third term as well. The Rovers are up to 9 in favour of 9 for the Rovers, 6 for the Wodonga Bulldogs in this third term.
Margin was 25 points at one stage in this game. Now it's back to 7. Tom Boyd with his second. Margin at 7 points. 57 plays 50. Dogs still lead. Late stages of this third quarter. 25 minutes played. Jorgensen going in hard and knocking McNamara off the ball. Spills out the back here to Kitching. Goes by hand to Wilding. Sets sail Oscar Wilding. And it's through for a steer line goal today. A wonderful finish from Oscar Wilding. And the instant reply from the Wodonga Bulldogs, if you don't mind. 63 plays 50. A wonderful smart finish from Wilding.
Yeah, certainly was. Just really good hands from young Kitching as well to get the ball out to Wilding into a bit of space, as we touched on. Just the Dogs out of the middle of the ground, getting the ball nice forward quickly, and then Kitching again. Just those hands. I think a lot of these younger fellas for the Dogs are really impressing me. You can see that they've got some really good young talent coming through the footy club in years to come, and just really smart hands there out to Wilding, who was able to put that one through, his first goal for the day, and they needed the Dogs needed him to get involved in the game and just to halt any sort of momentum that the Rovers were able to get after that Tom Boyd goal moments ago.
Yeah, they hit back. There's the response from the Wodonga Footy Club. Fantastic work, Toby Murray. Just got a clean tap out of the ruck. Wilson, who's having a fantastic game. Nolan brings him to deck. Umpire's going to call for it right of the centre. Close to the three-quarter time break here. We've gone 26 minutes on the Macca's time clock. Blake Escott, Brad Freak and Luke Francis with you at WJ Finlay Oval Super Round 16 clash. The umpire again here will have a stoppage on the deck. 13 points, Panda, as we're close to three-quarter time. What a great last term we've got coming up.
Mathy ekes out a kick. Noah Spiteri fighting for this one. Chamberlain equal to the task for the Rovers. Kicks to a vacant centre wing. First there, Joel Smith over this football. He's got 2 on the Bulldogs to beat. And the siren beats us all. And it's all set up for a grandstand finish here at the WJ Finlay Oval. Do not go anywhere on 15-6-3 and O&M Optus TV. It's a 13-point lead to the Wodonga Bulldogs, 63, the Rovers 50. And remember, on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
You're clear. Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar.
Thanks, Campbell.
And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Big last term coming up from WJ Finlay Oval at the current time. It is the Wodonga Bulldogs leading by 13 points, 9-9-63 to the Wang Rovers 7-8-50. Round 16 of 18 in the O&M, Saturday the 12th of August. What a beauty. Getting quite dark here at the moment, Brad Freak. Freaky, well, I think the lights will have to come on very shortly.
Yeah, you'd think that they might have to flick the lights on, Lukey. I think the last game I did here, they did flick the lights on early in the game, but yeah, you certainly, as you spot on there, mate, it's getting pretty dark out there, and it will be in probably another half an hour or so.
Absolutely. Rightio, mate. Let's have a look at the Optus quarters best for the third term.
Yeah, in that third quarter, the Optus quarters best for the Wangaratta Rovers. I had Alex Markler, who popped up, who had been pretty quiet in the first half of this game and was able to kick 2 goals in that third quarter there and spark a bit of life into the Rovers. Get them back into this game, which they have now. And for the Wodonga Bulldogs side of things, it's probably not so much his quarter, but also his game as well. I went with Jet Cassidy, used his body quite well. I've been really impressed with his game and just his craft in the forward half for the Wodonga Bulldogs as well. And if we have a look at the 40 Winks stat sheet for that third quarter, it again, much the same as the first quarter, fairly even. 9 inside 50s for the Rovers to 7 for the Wodonga Bulldogs. A lot of stoppages throughout the game, which has meant not a lot of ball in that, especially in that third quarter, moved. But when the Rovers were able to get some width on the ball in that third quarter, they were able to get some damaging movements going forward. If we have a look at the possession getters, got Brody Philo as the leading disposal getter on the ground in our stat sheet. He's up to 24 disposals. Sam Murray's had the 23 and 18 for Jack Gerish. On the Wodonga Bulldogs side of things, got Josh Mathy at the 19 disposals. Angus Baker, he's had the 18, and Matt Wilson, who's also kicked 3 goals, he's got the 14 disposals as well.
Very good, Freaky. We'll go around the grounds very shortly, but both teams making their way out to position now for the final term, which is brought to us by APCO Wangaratta. How are we, Freaky? What's the story?
Well, there's a good one. My Pandas out of the box, mate. Myrtleford up by 4 points against North Albury. Wow. McNamara reserve 65-61. Wang Magpies leading Lavington 69-37, and the Albury 103 lead the Wodonga Raiders 43.
Okay. Great work, Brad Freak. Now, he's just entered the box, Blake Hexcott. Who's going to tell him the bad news?
I don't know. I think he might already have it up. I'm not too sure if he...
Final turn for APCO Wangaratta. We're about to go here. WJ Finlay Oval and a 13-point lead for the Wodonga Bulldogs. Let's see if they can see it out. Or the Wang Rovers peg them back. Wilson, who's had a wonderful game, out of the middle and then sends it forward for the maroon and white. Let's have a look. Oh, good hands. Angus Baker has gone forward and takes the mark here. A dream start this would be to the final turn, Brad Freak, for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it certainly would be. And we've seen Angus Baker throughout the year move forward and at different times. He's kicked the 22 goals this year as well, which has been a really good effort for him, and obviously one of the Morris Medal favourites, and he's really good at kicking goals in front of and impacting the games in different ways rather than just getting the footy around the ground.
Yeah, here goes Angus. So this would be his first goal of this football game. To the Evans Street end, man on the marks at 45. Has that one drifted right? It has. It's one behind. So that gets the lead out to 14 points. So 64 plays 50 on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. As we said, last turn brought to us by APCO Wangaratta. Macca's time clock has gone 60 seconds. Panda, welcome back.
Thank you very much, Lukey Francis. As Sam Murray kicks out of defence once again, looking for his brother Ibis. Comes at the back here the way of the Wodonga Bulldogs. A clever tap from Cade Brown. Matt Wilson went the banana. He was going goalward. I'm not sure he was going for the dual stick. But he's marked. Sammy Jewell, 15 metres out on a slight angle. This would be massive for the Dogs.
Yeah, second shot in the matter of minutes as well for the Dogs. A really good start from them. I saw just as the three-quarter time siren went, they got into a huddle in the middle of the ground, had a bit of a rev up, and then went out to their group. So this would be the ideal start if he puts this through.
The dual stick, a big finish this would be. He's missed. Two misses inside the first minute and 41 seconds of this third quarter for the Wodonga Bulldogs. Could that come back to haunt them? Not a great effort there from the dual stick. 64 plays 50 on our Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. All last quarter action here for APCO Wangaratta.
Gee, that would have been hard to watch for Jordan Taylor, I reckon, on the bench. That's right, Panda, absolutely nailed it. So, two crucial misses for the Bulldogs. And Murray, long kick, as we see, out of defence. Great mark by Lewis. Now, what's the umpire saying here? He's going to give it to McCarthy. The free kick's going to come back to.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened. Lewis took the mark, but it was a free kick to McCarthy, so the Rovers still had the ball, but then he made McCarthy take the free, which has stopped their flow of play, which I'm not too sure about.
Sam Murray calling for someone to lead at him. Look at that free kick. Straight to Toby, down in front of our broadcast spot. So 80 from home here. Toby's got the ball here for the brown and gold. Let's have a look, Panda, and see what he can do.
It's a wonderful kick for a big fella. Is the big Ibis. Kicks it to the hot spot. Not a great effort. Tommy Johnson just brought the ball to ground. Spills out here to Elijah Amory. Wrapped up in a Greenhill tackle. And Ollie got him caught holding the ball there. Well done from Ollie Greenhill. He's been pretty good today. And he's got a free kick for the Dogs. Deep in his own defence. Wants to switch the footy straight away. Finds Liam Andrews. He's got a left peg, which is usually pretty good. He put Noah Spiteri under pressure. McNamara is hot on his hammer. Spiteri's got it. Deep in defence here. Plays on for the Dogs. Goes out really wide. Kick had too much on it for Wilding. McQuaid just sees it over the boundary line. To the left of the famous old scoreboard here. Showground side of the WJ Finlay. A 15-point lead to the Dogs. 9-11-65 over the Rovers. 7-8-50. Blake Panda Escott, Brad Freak and Luke Francis with you for the Old Town and Country Tavern.
Still no lights, Freaky. We might have to go and find that switch.
No, we'll have to go down there and have a word with them, I reckon, Lukey.
That's it. Now, Matey hacks it forward for the Bulldogs. Bouncing ball. Wilding. Murray's got in quickly. Umpire calls for it.
We definitely need them, don't we?
We do. Yeah, it's quite dark here. We're about to put miners hats on.
The Prez is the runner in Wally Pasquale, so he can't go and flick him on Lukey.
Yeah, we might have to get a... Have we got a line to the bench? We might have to jump on the phone.
Panda might.
Yeah. Can you find the phone number for the bench, Panda?
Kyle Roven just thought he'd commentate last time we were here for the Rovers.
Wilson. Out to Brad Short. They're heading towards the Evans Street end here, the Bulldogs. Let's have a look. Oh, Paddy Murray put it to the deck and it's rolled out of bounds. So bad result for the Rovers. Be a throw-in for the Bulldogs. Back pocket here, far side Evans Street end, Panda.
Such a massive last quarter in this O&M Live contest. The Dogs win, they will play finals. They have not played finals since 2009. The Dogs fans know it means so much. And the Rovers, still a top 3 berth on the line here. At ground level, spills out here to Wilson. He's kicked 3. The dual stick over this footy as well. trying to do a little bit too much with it. His hand pass was intercepted by McCarthy. Heaves it out of trouble. Oh, Tommy Boyd with a little heel action at ground level. Trying to do something fancy for the Rovers. The Dogs, though, win it out. Greenhill, he's been effective. Goes out really wide. The Dogs move it down the far side here. 1-on-1 there between Nolan and Johnson. Nolan does well, but his hand pass had too much on it for Amory. It allowed the Dogs to come in there and force a stoppage. Far side of the ground here, just forward to centre for Wodonga. Still no goals in this last quarter for APCO Wangaratta. We played 5.5 Macca's time clock.
Tom Johnson, Toby Murray contest the ruck. Well roved by Nolan. Gets it forward to the half-forward line here for the Rovers. Boyd got rid of his opponent. Umpire calls play on. Out the back now to the prime train. Bolsh fumbling, picks it up. Ducks back inside a couple of times. Gets onto the right foot, Nana, and kicks a goal. He kicks a goal. So interesting. So it's back to 9 points now. That's a double for Tom Bolsh on the Work Like a Wangaratta scoreboard. Last terms brought to us by APCO Wang. Macca's time clock has gone 6 minutes. Freaky, what do you got for us?
Yeah, really good play there from the prime train. Just had a little bit of composure. The ball wouldn't settle for him and bounce up to him, but then really good on composure again to get around a couple of the Wodonga defenders and about a nice right foot snap. He needed to put that one through because he had Alex Marklew in a lot of space. Nice little handball for him it would have been, but put that one through and just get them back in this game. Get it under the 10-point margin again in this last quarter. And it's, yeah, the Dogs have had all the plays so far, but haven't been able to put it onto the scoreboard in this last term.
Brad Freak beautifully describing the action there for Watters. As he said, it just wouldn't sit for the prime train, but he had enough composure to get around a couple and bang through his second goal. There's a high free kick here, going to go the way to the Wangaratta Rovers. It's against the Dogs here. There's a player at ground level who looks to be in a fair bit of discomfort, actually, for the Wangaratta Rovers, just trying to make out
it's Chamberlain's boots.
Is.
Chamberlain's boots.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It is Chamberlain's boots. And he looks at his shoulder. He's holding his arm. It looks like he's holding his forearm or his shoulder, and he looks to be in a world of hurt there, Cam Chamberlain. So we'll watch that one. In the meantime, Toby Murray has it right in front of the scoreboard. True centre wing. Showground side. 65 plays 56. So much on the line for these two sides. Murray just pitching wedges it up to half forward, and Josh Mathy marks it for the Dogs at half back. One goal in this last quarter to the way of the prime train. 9-point lead to the Rovers.
Oh, Wilson and Sam Murray met. Great clash out there. Good footy. So just slightly avoiding each other in the race for the ball. Left of the scoreboard here. 9-point lead to the Wodonga Bulldogs. WJ Finlay Oval. That's it. Round 16. Still no lights here. Quite dark. Very cool in Wang today. Garish. And then going in Ainsworth. Mathy fights away for it. Going to be a whistle here over the shoulder. Josh Mathy in at the coalface. Fighting away for his footy club. Wins the pill. Out to Soroczynski. Wants to come back to Mathy. So they haven't picked up all that much ground. And then sends it to centre wing. Lewis interrupted the kick there to Yellen. Ball out of bounds on centre wing. Rightio, Freaky, let's go around the grounds here, thanks to Wattis.
Yeah, in the other games in the ovens and Murray, Albury 110 lead the Wodonga Raiders 43, Wangaratta Magpies 75 lead Lavington 37, but only a 2-point lead to North Albury against Myrtleford 67-65 in that game up at the McNamara Reserve.
And here at the WJ Finlay, it's a 9-point lead to the Rovers. Comes forward here, prime train inside forward 50, clean at ground level, able to get a left foot kick into a pack of players here. The Dogs win it defensively. Noah Bradshaw, left foot kick out really wide. And it's been marked here by Soroczynski. He's been pretty good today as Soroczynski kicks it back to Noah Bradshaw. It was good pressure there from Elijah Amory. Been pretty good since he's come into this lineup, Noah Bradshaw from Southport. Of course, Dog Jr. sits it over the top here to Tommy Johnson, who's worked so hard today in the ruck. He's played a little bit forward. He's played back. He's done everything. That kick, not great though. Should have been intercepted by Satori, but he dropped what was a very easy mark. Comes out the way here of Cade Brown. Hugs the boundary line and finds Angus Baker at half forward for the Wodonga Bulldogs.
Baker, now he's calling for a lead. Who's he got? Sends it in there. Deep entry here for the Bulldogs. Spiteri at the back, over the back. Oh, well done on the second attempt. Has kicked the goal. Noah, great recovery after dropping the Sharon initially. He's kicked a beauty, Freaky.
Yeah, he certainly has there. Tried to fly high there and take a real big pack mark, as he did a few weeks ago. And a really, really composed finish there. Brought out his soccer background there, but No doubt he will watch that one on the replay tomorrow.
Yeah, you tell us about it. You reckon he watches the full thing back?
He will. He'll watch the whole game back. He's got a big day tomorrow, actually, Noah. He lives with my brother. And Josh has been away, and his now fiancée Ange, have been away for a month, and they get back tonight. So I guess the house better be up and scratched for tomorrow when they get home.
Yeah,
might be getting the Dyson out pretty quickly, I reckon, when he gets back home.
I think so.
Yeah.
Cleaning a few dishes.
Spray and wipe. Mr. Sheen.
And he kicked a big goal here. Could it be the goal that sends the Dogs to the final? 71 plays 56. Work like a Wangaratta scoreboard. We've played 11 minutes of the Macca's time clock. Amory for the Rovers sends him into attack again. The prime train up against Greenhill. Spills out the back here to Justin Lewis. A great tackle from Charlie Morrison. Sees him over the boundary line. And it's going to get tossed back into play here. 15 around for the Rovers goal. 1 goal apiece in this last quarter for APCO Wangaratta. The prime train, the goal kicker for the Rovers. And as we just saw and heard then, Spiteri for the Dogs. And you've called for it, boys. The lights are now turning on here at the WJ Finlay Oval. What Luke Francis asked for, he gets.
Let there be light, Panda.
That's what this man from Wagga, he gets, as the Dogs work it out of defence here. Good fist there from Paddy Murray. Cassidy left it behind. It allowed McNamara to get a hand to it. McQuaid had to get rid of it. He did it beautifully. Sam Murray left foot kick. Kicks it back towards Marklew. Cleverly out the back. Just got rid of Charlie Morrison. Was careful not to push him out. And he's going to go and line up from 30 metres out directly in front.
Just go back to Jace McQuaid's handball here to get to Sam Murray. Just waited long enough to bring in 3 Dogs opponents to him. Just gave Sam Murray that little bit of extra space. And just Sam Murray's delivery to Marklew to give him the advantage side. Beautiful football from the Rovers.
So Al Marklew hits the top of the post. Wow, you don't see that often. He hit the top of the left post and it's through for a minor. A big moment in this game. He was lining up for goal 3, and that could be costly for the Rovers. Wowee. So the margin now sits at 14 points. 57 plays 71 on our Work Like a Wangaratta scoreboard. Dogs lead.
Yeah, beautifully called by Blake Escott for the Old Town and Country Tavern. Now, this ball's rushing forward towards the Evans Street and Paddy Murray getting back, taking it on half-back for the Rovers. So they need the next one. They trail by 14. Can't afford the Bulldogs to kick the next major in this footy game. Here's Garish taking on Bradshaw. Great tackle from Bradshaw. Umpire said play on. Then Satori goes in, swung around. Wilson had him by the dreadlocks, by the hair. Wow, look at that lady in the chair over there. She's going, what's going on? She had her arms out. Freaky, she was calling for a free kick.
She's still having a bit of a word to him over there.
Yeah, very interesting.
Quickly around the grounds as well. Wangaratta 75, Lavington 44, and it's still 2 points between North Albury and Myrtleford, 73-71, goal for goal in that game at the McNamara Reserve. And here at the WJ Finlay, the Dogs holding on here. They've played so great. A wonderful second term. It was 4-1. They led by 20 points at the half. They trailed by 1 point at quarter time. They led by 13 at three-quarter time. They currently hold a 14-point lead. 71-57. Toss back up. And we're going to have another ball up on the showground side of the ground here. Brad Freak, some of our 40 winks disposal getters, please.
Yeah, Sam Murray's up to 27 for this game. Matt Wilson's had 19 and kicked the 3 goals for the Dogs and 21 for Angus Baker.
Ball heading towards the line. Ainsworth. And Nolan quickly pounces upon him. Ball out of bounds right of the scoreboard. Far side. On a very cool day in Wang. Matilda's coming up at 5 p.m. at Suncourt Stadium in the Sunshine State, taking on France. Let's have a look. Got to get this result first. We've got to work out how this O&M ladder's going to look after round 16. Oh, in the back against Yellowknight, I thought. Umpire said play on. Lewis and then Baker. Ball comes out the back. Kay Brown. Mark Clute tried to go off the ground. Again, ball out of bounds here. Final term, 14 gone on the Macca's time clock. Work like a Wangaratta scoreboard sees the Bulldogs leading 71-57. Here's O&M Live's very own Blake Escott for the Town and Country Tavern.
And as I said, that'll be rocking the night. Matildas will be on the screens. On Greta Road here in Wangaratta. Philo went to ground. Lots of players around this footy, and this will please Geordie Taylor here, just soaking a little bit of time off the clock, Brad Freak.
Just choking it down, Freaky, choking it down.
They are. They're not letting the Rovers get any space in the game, and if they can get some space, that's when they can get back in it. But this contested sort of rolling scrum, I guess, is probably going to suit the Dogs late in this game.
15 played, Macca's time clock, fourth quarter for APCO, the best service station in the world. We're there during the week doing a bit of a promotion. Lukey Francis.
Beautiful, Peter. Did you pick up a scallop?
No. Yes, a couple of scallops if you're referring them as potato cakes.
A dimmy?
A dimmy, yes, absolutely. They got all the good stuff to APCO Wangaratta. And we've got a good game of footy here at ground level. Garish wins it and just takes a bounce. He's able to create space when there wasn't much. Hambass asked a lot of his coach, Sam Murray. Comes out to our broadcast wing. Finds Joel Smith all on his own. He kicked a wonderful goal. It was the first goal of the game. And he goes short here to Jack Garish.
Yeah, Joel Smith. Used to be one that played for Hawthorn too, wasn't there, Joel Smith? Brown and gold stripes, two-time All-Australian. And Jorgensen goes in, brought to ground by Lewis. Right on him. He's a great defensive player, Freaky, Justin Lewis.
Yeah, he certainly is. Him and Dylan Wilson is a 1-2 combination as pressure forwards have been really strong for the Rovers throughout this year.
Ball hit the deck without a ruckman getting it. Out to Greenhill. Right foot around the body. High ball. Let's have a look here. Good contest. Sam Murray, a couple of bites at it. Goes to ground level. McNamara was almost held with it. Garish got it to Smith. Quickly on the boot. Lewis bounces beyond him. Yelland now gets tackled by Amory. Bradshaw takes on the tackler and then sweeps it down the line here towards centre wing. Now Yellens, or is it Johnson down in the background, Freaky?
Yeah, it was Johnson. Just a bad corky, I think it was.
Yeah, in a bit of trouble here. And back to centre wing to Sharon.
Yeah, McNamara just jams it on the boot. Players falling down everywhere here. Justin Lewis can't run for the Rovers. Tommy Johnson falling down and hobbling here for the Dogs. That means this game means a fair bit for both sides as Kitching, his kick hung a long time in the air. Cohen Ainsworth took a wonderful mark on centre wing. The Dogs holding on. 71 plays 57. Ainsworth, left foot kick inside 50, spills out the back here to the dangerous Noah Spiteri. Has to try and pick the ball up at ground level. Does it, snaps it. Does this send the Dogs to the finals? No. Through for a minor score. The margin out to 15 points. 72 plays 57. On our Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. More precious time going off the clock though, Luke Francis. 17.5 played Macca's time clock, fourth term.
Yeah, that's right, Panda. So the goal scoring rate at present, if the Bulldogs were to kick the next one, it might very well nearly close the game out. Here's Bolsch going to Garish. Garish looping hand pass over the top to McCarthy. Back out to Bolsch, the prime trainer. Beautiful hand pass on to Garish. They go in here, the brown and gold. They need one out of this. Marklew over the top of his head. Well done by the Bulldogs defence. They hold up again. Well, Amory, though, scoops in. Morrison in a one-on-one. Now picks it up. Rover runs it in the end. Andrews came in, boots it off the ball. Ball out of bounds. Great contest there. Just inside 50 to the netball court end. 72 plays 57 on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. Freaky, we'll get our inside 50s thanks to 40 Wings.
Yeah, 7-5 in favour of the Wangaratta Rovers in this quarter, but the Rovers have been just able to lock it in a little bit more, just like they did there. Just get a repeat entry and potentially another shot at goal.
Myrtleford 77 leading North Albury 74 as well. 2 minutes to go in that game, and we have the Dogs leading by 15 here at the WJ Finlay. Lots on the line in round 16. SSNA Ovens and Murray action. A ball up. Just 4 to centre here for the Wangaratta Rovers. If they're to charge back into this one, they need a goal, Freaky, in the next couple of minutes for sure. The next minute, I reckon.
Yeah, they certainly do. They just need to get speed on the ball and some space. But the Dogs have dropped a couple behind the play. Looks like Liam Andrews and Angus Baker are both dropped defensively in the back half for the Dogs to clog up any space the Rovers might get.
Toss back up. Johnson. Sorry, it was Jewell in the ruck, and another stoppage, and then more time off the clock as well. We've only seen the 2 goals in this last quarter, so it might only go 23 or 4 minutes. We've played 19 currently on the Macca's time clock, and Toby Murray just trying to punch it forward as long as he can. Comes out here to Baker for the Wodonga Bulldogs. They got a runner up at half forward. It's Matt Wilson. He marks, wants to take off, and then says, no, I'll come back on the inside here. Finds a hand pass to Ainsworth, gives it back to Matt Wilson, and he goes forward inside 50. Oh, marking was Tommy Johnson. Hobbling He's only got one leg, Freaky, but he might line up here from 45 out.
Yeah, well, if Tommy, he'll take his time here to get that 30 seconds off the clock, and then he'll either hopefully see if he can have a ping, or he's pass it off to Angus Baker. Hasn't made the distance there.
No, he hasn't indeed. Tom Johnson here, dropping the ball in the end. A bit of scrappy play. Lots of tired players here. Paddy Murray hand passes it to Garish. In fact, there's a free kick here. There's a whistle. It's going to go the way of the Wang Rovers.
It's on now. It's on. So Garish has been put down late here, Panda and Freaky. They're coming in from everywhere. It's just about to settle down, though.
Yeah, they certainly were. Obviously, free kick to the Wangaratta Rovers for a throw there. I think it was on Tommy Johnson. Oh, no, it's actually going to the Wodonga Bulldogs. And that should be 50. He hasn't thrown it back on the full.
He got that 100% right, the umpire, that decision, because Paddy Murray came out with the sort of a high one on Matey. So the initial decision, I reckon, was 100% correct. And there's confusion here.
No, there's been, I think, Sam Murray might have been having a chat with the umpire at the other end of the ground, and he's been given away for dissent, I'm going to assume it is. That's the only thing it could be. He was 100 metres off the play, so that's all I could imagine it would have been.
Have a look at this, would you? So Adam Jorgensen has ended up with the ball on the goal line at the Evans Street end, and this could very well put the game on ice. 72-57, the Bulldogs could be home here. Adam Jorgensen kicks a goal, pumps his team up, and that one stings massively here at WJ Finlay by the way of the Hawks. Freaky.
Yeah, it certainly does. Just a massive confusion in that aspect, in that part of the game then. I just thought I heard another whistle. I didn't know. I was just trying to see where it was going.
I reckon I heard one too.
We're just getting another footy, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah, just massive confusion, and obviously favourable for the Dogs there. Just a little bit of loss of composure there from the Rovers to give away that 50. It's hard to know what actually happened then with it being so far off the ball and what was actually said in that aspect there, and not being able to see it as well. But yeah, you just have to say probably ill-disciplined play from the Rovers in that passage.
21 points, the margin. The Dogs look home and may be destined for September in 2023. 78 plays 57. Joel Smith fighting for it against Cohen Ainsworth. Ainsworth brings him to ground. We've got a ball up right in front of our commentary position.
The Dogs.
And you can hear the Dogs fans up and about here.
I reckon there's about 8 Dogs players got over the scene before one Rover. There's not even 8 Rovers players at this contest.
You can see how much it means to the Dogs. Toby Murray punches it clear here. Cohen Ainsworth, who applied that great tackle beforehand, passes it to Venturoni. He was brought down holding the ball. And Al Marklew will win it here for the Wangaratta Rovers. And Al Marklew, he's kicked to the FUD. He's way too far out to score. Arcs around. He's going to pump it along to the hot spot. Who's flying? Prime Train there. Boyd as well. Prime Train wrapped up by Greenhill. Gets a hand pass out. Baker at ground level on hands and knees for the Dogs fighting high. Prime Train as well, brought down by a couple of tacklers. We've got a ball up inside 50 for the Wangaratta Rovers, but it might be all over. 78 plays 57, 21-point lead to the Dogs. They've kicked the last 2 in this game through Jorgensen and Spiteri. We've played 22 minutes.
Rovers really need a goal from this inside 50, or that might be it. Andrews just in front of the ball as it goes out of bounds, and the boundary umpire will take it. So 78 plays 57. Worklocker Wangaratta scoreboard. We'll go to you, Panda.
Full time at the McNamara Reserve. North Albury by 3 points over Myrtleford, 80-77. And the Wangaratta Magpies 87-51 over Lavey.
Netball court end. Let's see if the Rovers can win this. Philo gets it out to Garish. Garish on the boot. High ball coming down. Bolsh over the top. Goes to ground level. Shuck on a boot. McCarthy kicks a goal. They're still alive. They're still alive, the Rovers. So Alex McCarthy has kicked a quick one. And it's now back to 15 points, I reckon. Wow. Well and truly on here. Round 16 action. O&M Live 15-6, 15-6, 3-E. Don't go away, Freaky.
Yeah, certainly not. Just really quick. Just keeping the ball in motion than the Rovers were. Just plenty of contest. Plenty of Dogs there just clogging up the place and just seeing what's going on. I'm just trying to figure what's going on down there. It just looked like one of the Dogs boys may have pushed one of the Water boys from Wang Rovers on just, Sorry, it just caught my eye a little bit then, boys. I got a little bit lost track.
That's all right.
That's okay, Brad.
That's all right, Freaky.
When you're for 40 winks of waters, you can do what you like. Murray's gone into the middle of the ground, trying to win a free kick here for a hold, and he gets one. So there can't be long left. It's a 15-point margin. It would take something miraculous for the Wangaratta Rovers. Sam Murray plays on. Brought down in a big crunching tackle. A Mawson's concrete play of the day. And it's on here. A wonderful tackle by Reece Venturoni. Holding the ball. Tensions are starting to just really boil over here at the WJ Finlay. The Dogs fans are into it. It means so much to them. And the Wangaratta Rover fans as well. Reece Venturoni with a wonderful tackle on Sam Murray, who was about to pump the Rovers inside forward 50. 78 plays 63 on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard as Baker goes short and he finds Ollie Greenhill in defence for the Dogs.
Yeah, the Dogs, they might have their bite back today. The crowd barking down here in front of the commentary box. Baker, fullback position. Netball court end. Can they hold on? 15-point lead to Maroon and White. Hope you've enjoyed the action this afternoon. It's been a super game, and Matey sees it across the chalk here. So this is down in front of our commentary position now. Freaky, we'll get our leading possession getter now, mate, for both teams in this contest.
Yeah, Sam Murray's up to the 28 disposals for the Wangaratta Rovers, and Angus Baker is up to 24 for the Wodonga Bulldogs.
Murray, Toby, that is, sends it forward for the Rovers. Big fist by Yellen at the back. Ball comes out to Spiteri and then sends it down the line. Good mark, McQuaid, and the Rovers are going to they need something from this, Panda.
I think it could be all over here on O&M Live. The Dogs 78, the Rovers 63. 26 minutes played on the Macca's time clock. Cody Shutt has it on centre wing. Umpire's called him to play on, and he goes short to the big Ibis Murray. Jordan Taylor out of the game with a hamstring injury in the first quarter. They've been a man down all day. The Dogs have played with spirit. You can see how much this means to them. They only need the one win, and they'll sew up September action in season 2023. A stoppage inside forward 50 for the Wangaratta Rovers, who have kicked 2 goals in this last quarter. The Dogs have kicked 2 as well. It's 45 around from their goal. Sam Jewell contesting with Alex Marklew in the ruck. Jewell does well. Tries a jam on the boot. Comes to the way of Shaganolan. Hand passes it out here to Garish up against Ainsworth. And another stoppage. And a siren blows. And the Wodonga Bulldogs have won an epic. And they are going to play finals by the looks of things in season 2023. And a 14-year drought could be over. Haven't played finals for a long time, since 2009. They've come to the WJ Finlay Oval and they've beaten the Rovers. 78 plays 63. Wow, Brad freaking Luke Francis.
Yeah, simply outstanding performance then by the Wodonga Bulldogs, Lukey, especially after quarter time, just that second quarter onwards. Their pressure and their aggression around the footy was second to none, and they were fully deserved the victory that they've earned today, and obviously should now send them off to finals for the first time since 2009. So congratulations to all the people at the footy club and all the people and all the supporters that have gone through the hard yards with them all over all those years. Are finally going to see some action in September.
Yeah, absolutely, Freaky. Yeah, they're back. They're back, the Bulldogs, and in a big way. That is a super win this afternoon here at WJ Finlay Oval. Backs against the wall. They tore in. They ripped in. Dug their claws into the contest, and what a performance, taking the points here in this round 16 clash, visiting the WJ Finlay Oval this afternoon, and the Rovers, well, they're stunned. They are absolutely stunned, shell-shocked here, and the crowd, well, they're a little flat, it must be said.
Yeah, certainly are at the moment. And as we touched on in the pre-game, Lukey, just interesting about the Dogs are now, they've won more games on the road than they have at home this year.
Yeah, it's remarkable, isn't it?
It is quite remarkable that they're able to get have such a good winning record on the road. You know, obviously you like to play on your own turf and get more wins there, and the Rovers have only lost, I think it was maybe 1 or 2 games at home all year coming into this game as well. So it was really interesting looking at that side of it. So for the Dogs to be able to come down here and win, I think they actually came down here last year and got the win over the Rovers as well, which was really good for them, really good at that stage as well. So, but no, congratulations to the Dogs. And the Rovers had their opportunities. They just couldn't get the speed on the game that they probably were looking for at times in that third quarter when they did have a little bit of momentum. There's just a bit of pace on the game, and they were able to open it up a little bit and just get their forwards in their play a little bit more. And they struggled to do that in the second half, in that last quarter there as well. So, full kudos to the Dogs. They really wanted the game to get slowed up, and yeah, really, really strong work from them. And it was a really good victory for the Doggies today. His Panda's down there at the moment, and I think he looks like he might have our Watters player of the day. Matt Wilson, you got us, Panda?
Yeah, we'll go down to Panda now. He's just getting set. Blake Escott. Now, Freaky, we'll just wait for you to get across there. I reckon if you had to frame a market in this footy game.
I got you guys.
Here we go. We'll go down to Panda now. He's with Matt Wilson.
Matty Wilson, 3 goals made our Watters player of the day. How does that feel? Look at the feel amongst these guys. It must mean a lot.
Yeah, it's a great accomplishment. It's been a long time coming, so it's good to have a crack in the finals. Yeah, can't wait.
Mate, you kicked a couple of goals from the goal square, mate, and you're in the right place at the right time, mate. You seem to do that all the time.
Just get lucky. Very lucky. To all the boys, yeah, just get lucky.
What does this win mean to you guys in the club? Obviously, Geordie Taylor going off with a hamstring injury in the first quarter, and the Rovers threw everything at you, mate, but you seem to have all the answers.
Yeah, to the credit to the boys, we just stuck real strong. It's good. We've had a few close games. It's good to finally get over the line leading into this final series.
Well done, mate. Go on and sing the song loud. Enjoy this one, and best of luck next week.
Thank you very much.
There he was, Blake Escott down on ground level with Matt Wilson. Played his best game for the year this afternoon. He was fantastic on a big occasion. Now, Freaky, I reckon if you had to frame a market coming into this game today, I would have had the Rovers at about $1.30, $1.40. And I would have had the Bulldogs about $3, I reckon.
Yeah, probably a little bit, probably fair. Look, you look at the form coming into the game, obviously off with a 21-day break, the Dogs as well, which we saw last week when the game I did with the Rovers. They seemed to struggle early, which again, you could probably say the Dogs a little bit, but the Rovers didn't get away from them, which Albury did last week against the Rovers, and the Rovers obviously fought back, just like the Dogs did today. And yeah, no, really, really strong performance for them to come down the highway, down to Wangaratta and get the 4 points down here and, lock up the final spot as Matt's touched on there. It's such a big accomplishment for them in the group, that something that they've been building for a long time, and to finally achieve that is one thing, and hopefully they can have a red-hot crack when they get there in September.
Absolutely. So they're just going under the balcony now. They'll go into the sheds, and Panda will have the song for us. He'll get that mic in there. The only negative out of the day was, of course, Jordan Taylor doing that hamstring early on in the game, the Bulldogs coach. That was very unfortunate. He was having a shot for goal, 30 out to the netball court end, and bang, his hammy went on him, which was so unfortunate. Here they go. Wodonga Bulldogs getting home. Yeah, they're pumped up, the Bullies. Good on them. Gee, what a night tonight, Freaky. Do you celebrate that? You nearly got to, don't you?
I think you're going to have to.
I think you got to.
You got to, don't you, Luke?
When I say you're going to celebrate, of course you are. But I reckon you have a go tonight. Why not? That's fantastic. You're playing finals. They had a great start of the year, as we know. They won their first 4, and then they lost 6 of the next 8. Without a doubt, their biggest game of the year today, coming down to the WJ Finlay Oval in Wang, where they've won twice this year, twice in Wang. So they won against the Maggies, and they won now against the Rovers.
Yeah, as we touched on, they've just really enjoyed travelling this year for some reason. Don't know why that would be, Lukey, but they've been able to get the chocolates when they've come down the road each time this year. So it's been good for them, And that's the thing. That's what gets you into finals is road wins.
That's it.
Obviously, you bank on your wins you're going to have at home, but then you need to be able to go on the road and get the job done away from home. That's what really gets you in the finals, and that's what proves shows that you're a good team. I mean, obviously, they would have liked to have won a few more games than they have it at their home deck this year, but they haven't. But they've been able to do it on the road, which is good for them.
And they answered everything today, didn't they? Just when you thought, okay, the Rovers might get a little chance here, a little sniff, they closed them out again. and it really just stamped the papers, and a very impressive win.
Yeah, it certainly was. And for both teams, obviously, there was a really important game coming into it as well for both sides. And obviously, Rovers hoping to keep in touch with that third position on the ladder. But obviously, with them losing today, it's going to make it a little bit harder for them, definitely. So it was good.
Yeah, we might go around the grounds very quickly. But firstly, we'll get to a break here on O&M Live for just a super win. If you missed it, it was the Bullies getting home over the Wang Rovers at WJ Finlay Oval. This is O&M Live, and remember, on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.